Yes,
You've
you are.
decided to sacrifice Lloyd?
Yo, my friend.
Oh, that's not good. I need
It's
him.
fine.
It's okay. We got really good sight as a result because of all those eyes.
Yeah, we've all taken an eye.
Yep.
We
Increase
got a
our
lot of
intelligence.
spares then in that case.
There are.
Uh-huh.
That's fine. Just in case one of our eyes break, we can just stick another one on.
Sure thing. That's how
Well,
it
they
works.
just work like little bumper stickers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
All right. You all ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aye, Captain.
General warning for this episode. It is hot here in the UK, which means that we'll probably be taking a break during the middle just for refilling drinks and stuff as normal. But that does also mean that windows and stuff are open, so there may be more volume from some of us. Just have to deal with it. This happens. Oh, and if it's anything like it was last year, brains will be slow. But I digress.
Speak for yourself.
What do you mean speak for myself? You guys were the ones who couldn't get through the basic number puzzle.
That was hard work.
It wasn't hard work. It was simple.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you do.
I don't remember this puzzle.
I haven't
I-
already.
I was about to do the same thing. Jamie, have inspiration. If you've already got it, you can give it to somebody else here. Oh, man.
Who wants inspiration?
I got it.
I haven't had it in a while.
For all I know, I've got a bardic inspiration still just randomly left over. I've
Yeah,
got
you
no
haven't.
idea.
That would have
would have
decayed.
gone.
That
Good,
last.
thank
Yeah,
goodness
it
for that.
lasts about 10 minutes.
Yeah, that is last 5 minutes.
Sure. Yeah, it's gone.
Welcome back, everyone. We've arrived, it would seem, at an interesting crossroads. Our newly forged party, Cat, Damian, Kay, Lloyd, Romulus, and Vinny, have ventured forth onto the open road, heading south of Trenlor's Rest. While on the road, they have encountered 2 showmen by the names of Scale and Sting, partners with a rather interesting act. A few knife tricks and flaming swords later, the party were left in awe at such an act, while most of them didn't notice the hidden gems of such a performance. Perhaps one of their number did, but I digress from the rest of this journey. Now, leaving the path and heading to the mouth of the mountain, led by Kay? That can't be good. Clambering through the middle hole in the mountainside. Led by Kay initially, you all slide down the smooth and slightly slick with moss surface, passing by small holes on either side for a few seconds before you all tumble through a set of hanging leafy green vines. You breathe for a moment as your eyes refocus from dark to light. The sunlight from above peers down at you, reflecting across greens, yellows, blues, silver, and copper that scatter your vision for but a moment, as the scent of fresh food, soft smoke, and grass rush your senses. As your vision clears, you can see yourself standing at the edge of an open grassy clearing. Natural stone walls, eroded by water or some other force from some time ago, encase this space in a pottery kiln shape, broad at the base and narrowing at the neck that forms the top, where a hole acts as the chimney to this place. Reaching up to the zenith of this clearing is a chalky white tree that holds the centre of the clearing. Light reflecting off of its otherwise copper-coloured leaves and its roots permeating throughout, while its branches form a twisted canopy of reflecting metallics. Hanging from these branches seem to be large quantities of deep orange vines, moss, and small objects. The rest of the outer ring of this clearing is covered in tents and carved out sections of the hollow, where domiciles reside, and showmen wander the area, selling various goods, practicing shows, and discussing amongst themselves, while children play around the base of the tree. There are a few other openings that stand out across the camp, such as a large cavern entrance across the way from where you are, and a series of arches that are otherwise carved into the walls nearest you to your right and left, which seem to lead upwards. What would you say are each of your thoughts as you enter this place?
Did I
Let's-
take my hay fever tablets?
Okay, okay, note that down. Damian has hay fever.
Rip.
This could be fun.
Safe?
But you're safe?
Yeah.
Or safe question mark?
Safe question mark. 'Cause
Okay.
Kay has yet to find a safe place.
Okay. Cat or Vinny?
I wonder how squishy this moss is. I wonder if it's the same as my wand.
Well, this is definitely not what I was expecting up here, but I'd say I feel pretty comfortable among traveling performers and such, so...
As you're all the way standing there taking this in with Romulus and Lloyd having their own thoughts, a bright orange and well-tattooed and decorated female tiefling approaches you from one of the archers to your right. She wears thicker leathers despite the heat of the day with the wispy clouds moving about, and carries what looks to be a large longbow and a scimitar that are slung at her side, while a quiver of arrows rests on her back. She switches a length of black and gold highlighted dreadlocks over her shoulder just as she reaches the party. You've come in the correct way, which suggests to me that you're all friends, but I don't recognize any of your faces. May I ask what your purpose here is, or did you happen upon this place by accident?
I was sent to deliver something.
Right. Do you know to who?
I was told the one that looks like they're in charge.
Most of the time I'd say that would be me, but it's most likely you're looking for Liege. Look for him. He's not far from here. He'll probably be in Gansey's brew and tinctures if you're looking for him at this current time. Look for a royal red tiefling. He's a bit of a prat. 4 horns. You'll find him over that direction. She
The
points.
extra
up.
horny boy.
Yeah, I was just thinking exactly that. He's very horny.
Just wait.
Damian's trying to look like he's not there. He doesn't know any of these people. He just accidentally happens to slide down the hole.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you're the one making the delivery, I take it that means you're a showman too.
Would I? No. I wouldn't have been a part of their group. I'm part of the other people's, right?
Their group is an offshoot of this one. So, by proxy, you technically are, but you aren't the same decorated. You don't travel with this troop.
So the answer is yes?
The answer is yes, but technically no.
Yes and no?
I see. Well, feel free to make yourself more at home. You're wearing heavy clothing. You're welcome to take off as much as you need. Just don't make yourself indecent around the children. I'll leave you to
Damian's facing my veil.
I'll leave you to yourself.
Oh, one quick question before you leave. Where is it we found ourselves?
You're in the Starsight Camp. I take it you're not a showman then. I mean, you're undecorated, so I'd imagine not.
No.
No, I perform when the mood takes me, but mostly pursue other lines of work.
She takes a few steps towards you. And, are you looking to join, perhaps? She gets not uncomfortably close, but, yeah, specifically to you, Vinny.
Okay, Vinny is going to give a sort of long-winded and non-committal answer in common while saying in Thieves' Cant, possibly. What's in it for me?
She replies with an apology. I'd say, Kay, you're picking up on this, obviously.
Yeah.
In an apologetic manner of sorry for assumptions, etc., etc. She replies back also in Thieves' Cant. There's a lot to be gained for this. We have a lot of work and jobs. A lot of benefits and places to hide from city to city. And then she turns and just goes, if you ever change your mind, you're more than welcome to join. By doing so, simply speak to our leader or one of us, and I'm sure we can get you tattooed up so that you're a bit more distinct amongst our crew.
Very well. I'll consider your kind offer. I think we ought to take care of our pressing business first, though.
Oh, by all means. I'll leave you to your business, and if any of you have any further questions, ask around. Most of the people around here are friendly to new folk. They find it intriguing when you're not a tiefling or a tabaxi. And she otherwise nods and wanders off.
The name of the person we're looking for was what again?
Liege.
Liege?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. I will get rid of the question mark now.
Yep, and that is their virtue name.
Ah, yes. Yeah.
Alright. Well, suppose we'll go looking for that. I'm guessing it's a drinking place.
Gansey's Brews and Tinctures.
Yeah. That place.
Okay. Heading off in her guided direction. Is there anything anyone would like to do? Any sights or any questions they'd like to ask about this place while they travel?
I mean, I'm just playing for the time being, but
I'm keeping my eyes just sort of peeled in different directions, just trying to take it in, but I feel a bit conspicuous with like loads of tieflings and tabaxi and showmen, and I'm a knight.
This is true.
So I feel a little bit self-conscious.
Yeah. Looking around, you do draw a crowd, or not a crowd, you draw the ire of various individuals. A lot of the kids kind of like, they stand there and they just go, look, a knight! And some of them kind of run up and, like, not begin to ask questions, but they begin to watch and they begin to see, like, what's going on, and a few of them are kind of looking about the place. Or just looking over your crew in different manner. You otherwise wander forward. I'd like everyone to give me a perception or investigation check of their choice to see if they see anything of interest that might be useful for their character.
I'm gonna go with investigation.
I think I'm going with perception.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same.
Perception, because I'm interested in what sort of stuff is around here.
20.
Okay, so we'll start with Kay as you're at the front of the queue.
9.
Okay. More focused on your task ahead, you note the general layout of the camp. You can see what looks to be large quantities of tents, open areas off to the right. You can see the what looks to be a large number of houses, or as you imagine would be houses, that kind of stretch around the base of this with a single walkway that goes up to the next layer, where it still remains broad and flat, where there are more houses that are just buried into the wall. You can make out the general layout. It's fairly busy for the most part. It's a very kind of busy lived area. There'd probably be anywhere from maybe 50 to 200 people here at any given time. But you do see that there are a number of houses which seem to be less occupied, ones that have been abandoned for some period of time. Not necessarily in derelict, but they don't seem to show regular life. They haven't been maintained. So you pick up on that, the general nature of it. People seem to be looking at your troop, but mostly at you as you're in the front. But still taking in note. Next, I'd probably say Vinny. You'd probably be near to Kay.
Yeah, dirty 20 on perception.
Okay. Looking around, I'd say, is there anywhere in particular that you'd be looking around for, or just in general picking up details?
I think I'd probably be looking at what sorts of facilities they have here.
Okay. I'll say,
Like what sort of services they offer.
looking around, I will say you note the following. Off to the far back portion of the left, you do note that there is what looks to be an open front smithy. There is a large kind of hearth fire that digs into the wall, and the chimney seems to wind up through the rock above. And somewhere at the top on the exterior, there must be some form of flute or chimney that otherwise leads out to the rest of the world. You note that this particular stand is being manned by one such individual who's currently leaning over, not receiving any customers at this current time, but they are well stocked with various weapons and armaments. More so weapons than armor, I will say. You note that they, Gansey's brews and tinctures, otherwise lies not too far ahead in the direction that you're headed, and you can make out that it seems to be either a converted home or it was built in this particular manner, but you do note that it seems to resemble some form of, and given the name, some form of brewery or apothecary, maybe a mixture of both.
Okay.
You note that off to one side there is a there is a tent that is otherwise not well framed, but it's a lot more colourful and vibrant compared to the rest. You can see that it is otherwise decorated with various furs in different manners, but you see that it is otherwise being run, or there are a number of people who are standing in line outside. There seem to be about 3 people standing in line, and one goes in and another comes out. And you note the individual comes out with what looks to be kind of this wrapping across their arm, where they're currently like looking up and through it, and you can see this is most likely a tattoo parlor of some form. And finally, you note that there is in the large open area that is off to the right, that is like a massive opening from a large overhang. There are a large number of tents and hanging fabrics, tables set up, and there seems to be one massive central bar in the middle where there are a number of open cook grills currently turning various foods, and individuals are currently sat around it drinking and eating quite happily. I'll say that's the sort of facilities that you pick up. And
Okay.
other than that, there isn't like there are general sales individuals who maybe do farming or agriculture or sell various wares, but there doesn't seem to be a body marketplace for individuals to sell fresh produce. It seems to be more of a people cook for themselves, but they don't buy the ingredients from here. And people potentially come in or go out, you're not entirely sure, but there's no marketplace, so there must be some way that food is getting to this. Next, Kat or Damian, which one would like to
I
take their
think I'm
reins?
probably at the back, so I'll
Okay.
let Cat.
Okay, I got investigation on a dirty 20.
Okay.
Nice.
Anything in particular that you'd be looking at around the place?
It's a new place. We're a whole. Everything's strange. I'm just taking absolutely everything in and what's going on. So it's more, what is there? What stands out?
Okay. I will say one thing stands out to you above the rest. You look around the rest of this place, it's a very interesting camp, interesting people, different things and different services. Vinny's kind of looking around and you know a few of the same services, and just in passing glance, but you focus more accurately on the tree in the center. You see kids of a similar age, if not younger, playing around it and acting around it. And as you look up at the tree itself, you can see the twisted branches that lead out, the vines of almost this kind of orange coloration that hang down from it in various places, and you can see small, almost wooden tokens hanging from each branch. Not one per, but hundreds per branch. Most of them seem to be coated in kind of this light orangish moss that clings to it and clings to the tree itself, while otherwise these copper-coloured leaves kind of cast this light where it goes straight through. Like when you're looking up at a canopy, you can see through the greenish leaves, and it kind of has that green hue, and you can see the veins. It's the same deal, but it's copper-coloured. Almost giving this metallic sheen and hue to the light, to the shade below, giving it almost this moving and shifting pattern. It's a very beautiful and intriguing sight, but you don't entirely understand the nature of the tokens and what they're necessary for.
What's with the tokens and? I mean, the colour of the leaves. That tree, has it got any significance?
Who are you asking here?
The person that was with us, weren't they? Or have they not
No,
with us?
they went back through the archway.
Oh, okay. I thought they were with us. Okay.
No, you're currently
Well,
just walking to
is anyone
Gansey's
nearby?
brews and tinctures. There seem to be people just kind of hanging back. They're kind of watching your troop pass across the clearing. It's a big clearing, but it's not like bustling with people that it's a crowd all the time. There's plenty of space for people to be going back and forth.
Right. I'm just going to go over to the nearest person and ask them.
Okay. You run over to the nearest place. The rest of you watch as Cat kind of canters off to kind of the large open area, which you'd associated with food and drink, Vinny, of what looks to be like a tavern, pub, or inn of some form. You can see there's a group of 3 individuals sat around a table, what looks to be 2 tieflings and a tabaxi. As they're currently all kind of leaning, talking to one another. One of them just kind of picks up a peanut, chucks it in his mouth. Next one, she kind of takes a huge swig of a tankard, otherwise slaps it down, reaches over for this large skewer of stuff and begins to just kind of take bites off of it. As another one, the one sat in the middle, notices you approach and goes, "Aye, what you wanting, kid?"
Hi. I'm just curious, what's with the tokens on the tree and the significance of the tree here?
You must be new here, I'm guessing, given you don't know what its purpose is.
Very.
They kind of look around one another and kind of look at each other, but he goes, "Get yourself acquainted first before asking questions like that. You might get yourself in trouble with a few others. I know you're curious, don't take any offense to it. But looks like your group's going somewhere in particular. I'd say stick with them for now. You'll get your answers soon enough."
Okay. Alright, well, thank you nonetheless. I'm going to plod off back to the group.
And picks up a peanut and just flicks it in his mouth. And they continue on their chat. And Damian.
A 12 in perception.
Okay. What would you say you're roughly focusing on at this point?
I am looking for anything that seems incredibly familiar and anything that seems out of place. Because I'm probably at towards the back, and I'm probably on guard mode because this feels really weird to Damian.
I'll say with that check, what looks familiar and what looks different, you're looking around, kind of seeing everything that's going on, and you watch as back where you came, not far from the entrance where you otherwise came out from the vines that hang down from the hole, you watch as this large bit of kind of wooden palisade gate flips upwards, and you watch as a tiefling pulls Starlight and Lloyd's horse through and otherwise hitches them to what looks to be a temporary stable post before the gate otherwise closes back down behind it, and you watch as the gate just disappears, turning into stone.
Alright.
So you note that they have brought your horses in.
Yoink.
Okay. You reach the exterior of what looks to be Gansey's brews and tinctures. Carved into a section of this otherwise clearing's wall, you behold a rather large, round, varnished teak door that stands before you. 2 windows on either side of it, and you note a simple sign that hangs from it that reads Gansey's brews and tinctures. You see the door is partially ajar. Do you enter, Kay?
Yeah.
Okay. You push open the door and head inside initially. Have you taken off any of your mask or anything, or are you just keeping it all on?
I'm keeping it all on because I don't know these people.
Okay. Heading in. The interior in here is lit by what looks to be small hanging oil lanterns. No convenience crystals in sight. You otherwise feel a gentle aroma of fresh honey and herbs permeate through this otherwise foyer room and into each of you as you always inhale it to a certain degree. The room is lined with shelves that contain jars, vials, glasses, bottles, pouches, and bags, all of which are labelled with various drinks or ingredients, both medicinal and not. The well-varnished and maintained shop front has what looks to be a set of 2 doors that lead off to either side, while a simple workstation faces the leftmost wall, and you see it's currently laden with a project. In front of this work desk, you see what looks to be a rather skinny but otherwise not unhealthy grey-skinned tiefling. A mat of mossy green hair that folds down his back, while his hair and hold on. While his hair and Minotaur-like long horns are otherwise decorated with various dried herbs and flowers, some of which very much need to be replaced, you can tell. He wears a simple, pale blue button-up shirt, brown leather trousers, and a thick leather apron over the top of it all. And next to him, otherwise conversing with him to a certain degree, not necessarily behind, kind of just leaning on the countertop and just kind of chatting, you see this deep royal red tiefling, 4 horns, each of which is capped with gold to it, and woven around the horns is golden filigree and chains that hang between. He wears what looks to be a deep v-neck and sleeveless shirt of a creamy coloration as he's otherwise leaning back on the countertop, with a thick purple scarf that wraps around his neck loosely, a set of chalky white billowing trousers that hang around his legs, and his chest, shoulders and waist are tattooed with the patterns of clouds and dragons, each of which are of a different colour and seem to move as if influenced as he does and he speaks. His deep burning orange eyes are intense yet inviting as he locks eyes with you, Kay. What have we here? New folks coming into town. Pleasure to meet you all. My name is Liege. And he does a very deep kind of, almost, not a, lower than a 90-degree bow in that instance, very showman-esque, before writing himself back up. And you would be...
My name is Kay, and I give I guess just a nod, because I haven't really done anything like that before, so.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Kay, and I see you've got some friends too. So, what brings you here to Gancy's Tinctures and Brews and Tinctures, was it? And you watch as the lithe individual, or the thinner, grey-skinned tiefling kind of turns and goes, "Aye, that's what this is. Are you looking to buy anything? Because at the moment I've got a commission. I'll be with you in a bit. Have a look around. Don't take anything without paying. You know the drill."
Actually, I'm here to... hold on. Before I say this, just from looking at him, do I get the vibe of this is the person that I'm actually supposed to deliver it to? Like, does he look like he's in...
Go ahead and make me an insight check.
Of course.
What'd you get?
8.
8. He looks like he's in charge. He's either putting on a very good act, or he's in charge.
I'm just gonna go with it. I believe I have something to deliver to you.
To me? Oh. Well, who might it be from if it's to me? Not many people know me.
Does the name Scott ring a bell?
You watch as in that moment, this entire facade of I'm in charge, I'm hot, look at me, I'm all glamorous, immediately changes to a schoolboy hearing the name of his puppy being said before him, as his eyes turn to stars, and he gets very uncomfortably close in an alert speed and just goes, "Shot sent you! Oh, what's she sent me this time? I am so looking forward to this. And why hasn't she come herself? Why has she sent you? I was so looking forward to seeing her again." And you watch as he kind of just turns, clasps his hands together, and he just stares off into the ceiling, just in like his own emotional world.
Damian's realised that this conversation is certainly not for him, and he's just going to have a look around.
Okay.
It's familiar.
Okay.
The shells stuff.
For your last 2 questions, I'm not sure why she didn't come herself or why she sent me, but I go digging in my bag and pull out the letter.
Okay.
And
The
hand it
moment The moment the letter is even an inch outstretched, it is snatched from your hands by him as he just... Right. He composes himself, kind of does the seal, flips the lid up, pulls the letter out. Oh. You watch as he takes out a small key, places it on the surface of the paper, and you watch as, and I'd say, Kay, you immediately feel the effects of conjuration magic flare up for but an instant before they're gone.
Let's see, conjuration was... I sneeze.
Okay. As he places the key on it, you watch as this almost rune on the surface of the paper lights up for a moment and poofs, and you watch as a parcel floats there for a moment before he catches it and goes, let's see. No. And you watch as he begins to tear the parcel open to what looks to be a stack of papers bound by some string.
I need to be right back. 1 second.
Okay. Oh no, this is... Oh, hold on. You watch as he begins to flip through the pages. You watch as his nose begins to bleed. Genson, I'll be back in a bit. I've got to go read volume 2. See you in about an hour.
Oh no, not this.
And he leaves.
Chris, why?
Before he pokes his head back in. Thank you, friends, for everything that you've brought. Welcome to the Starsight Camp. Don't get yourselves into trouble. He leaves.
Starsight Camp. This rings a bell. What? Oh,
Why, Chris?
I know people from here.
Damn it, Chris, why?
What? I didn't do anything. You don't know.
Oh my god. Nosebleed and... God.
I think he's gonna be okay.
No.
His nose started bleeding. I think he's not very well.
Damian's still just completely consumed by looking at the different jars and what they've got in them.
Should we help him?
You're
You're just
lucky
going to look
Kay
through.
doesn't understand this.
I'll say, Damian, go ahead and make a medicine or nature check of your choice.
Oh, okay, I think it's going to be medicine, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, that's poor. Apparently Damian's forgotten everything. That is a 7.
Okay. You look through all the names, the labels. You recognize a lot of the common ones. A lot of these are medicinal herbs. A few of them, however, are out of your league of understanding in books. Given where you were raised and the things that you know, given you're a knight of Paloon, there's so many things that you know when it comes to this. But there are a lot of names here which you don't recognize. And then there are some which you do, and you realize that's probably not legal. But anyway, and you carry on.
Yeah, Damian would probably be thinking about the place. His immediate reaction, having come through, like, this is a bit weird and shady, and then sees this illegal stuff and like, yeah, it fits.
Well...
He wouldn't break the fourth wall, but he'd immediately think, this does feel a bit like Mos Eisley.
No, it's moss.
It's Mos Starlight.
You watch as the grey tiefling just keeps working and goes, anything you see that you might be interested in?
No, it looks perfectly ordinary to me. I don't need anything at the moment. I was just having a little look, if that's alright. Little browse.
That's fine, but if you're done, I would like to ask you to leave. You're clogging up the shopfront.
Damian's going to turn around and see if there's actually anybody else who's waiting.
You see that all 6 of you are filling this very small shopfront, and that there's no way in or out, except for somehow Liege escaped.
But he had nosebleed. He's probably gone to see a doctor.
Yep.
Ooh.
I got it.
He's in the local physicians, and he has to go see a doctor because it's an emergency.
I think he knocked his nose on the present or something. I don't know.
Well,
They said something about volume 2, so I think he's got a book.
Damian is still just pretending he's got no idea what might be being talked about.
I mean, Kay has no idea what's going on.
Damian has an inkling.
Kay is gonna leave. Because that's
Yep,
what he
big
came here
house.
for, and now he has no idea what to do.
Okay, I mean,
I'm gonna go outside, but as I'm going outside, I'm gonna say to Cat, "Did you say you knew somebody here?"
I met someone when I was, well, I was not that much younger. In fairness, like about half a year ago, maybe a bit before that. But I met a couple of
It was more than that. It was a year and a half ago.
what the showman was
Yeah.
it? I can't remember. It's a long time. It was a long time ago, back in my youth. I met a couple of showmen from here. Go by the name of Lucas. Well, the dad's name was Lucas anyway. The mum's name was Sunshine. They're really nice people. We met queuing up to go into somewhere, I believe.
I mean, we met a couple more.
We did,
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
but yeah,
Vinny,
they
just so you
originate
know what
from
happened,
here.
Mhm.
Liege took the letter, activated some form of rune on it, got a stack of
Yep.
papers, started reading it, said about volume 2, got a nosebleed, and ran out of the room and said, "Welcome to Starsight Camp."
I think we need to make sure he's okay. Also, that book must be really powerful. Wonder if it's got spells in it. Can you show me? Maybe I can learn some new spells.
I don't think that would be the case, Cat, but I do admire your thinking.
Wand technique, possibly.
Cat does
Right,
not
can
know
help.
such things.
That's definitely broken the fourth wall.
The place we were just in, what was it? It was like an alchemy place, right?
Yeah, it was an apothecary selling various medical herbs and stuff.
And other things.
Just an apothecary.
Well,
Nothing-
um,
Actually, you know what? No, I'm going back in.
I'll say you didn't have a look around, so you're not entirely sure.
Damian's aware.
I'm going back in.
Ooh, actually,
Okay.
I need to look at my inventory. There might be something.
Okay, you head back in. As you enter
Okay.
with the rest of your party, otherwise having vacated the store, unless anybody says otherwise.
I'm gonna stay outside if.
I'll
But actually, okay.
I'll go back in with him and take a quick look around as well.
Okay.
I'm still talking to Kat about who she's met.
This is the one. Yeah.
Okay.
I am going to go up to the Grey Tiefling,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to take out one of the toxic ladies' parasols that I have.
Okay.
Do you possibly have anything that might go with this?
He glances over for a moment. That's the kind of stuff we don't deal with around here. I understand you're new, so I'll let you off. We don't deal with poisons. If you're looking to make yourself a little bit more, get some weight off your chest, I can get you some stuff for that. If you're looking to heal some injuries, I can get you some stuff for that. Anything to take somebody else's life, that's not our business, I'm afraid.
I see.
Showmen don't deal in assassinations.
Anything that's tasty then.
Tasty for consumption or tasty for recreation?
Consumption.
Okay. Consumption-wise, if you're looking for something to otherwise heal your ills, he leans back, has a look over, while Chris gets up his list of medical herbs and plants that might be here. you're looking for tasty, I'd recommend maybe... Spring Bell has a refreshing taste to it. It can be quite useful and it can be quite curing as well. So that can be quite useful. Otherwise, I'd recommend maybe trying... maybe some crotch leaves. Crotch leaves are a fairly simple one. Small black leaves, you can eat with pretty much anything. They make stuff taste better. It's basically just seasoning. It's nothing else. You'd need to eat it with something else, but it can be quite useful. Otherwise, there's not too much else that you can really eat. I mean, you could eat moss tongues, but they're just going to taste like sponge. Kind of a spongy texture and watered down. That's about it.
Can I see a couple samples of the spring bells and crutch leaves?
Sure. Otherwise, you watch as he otherwise puts down something and kind of turns the heat off of a small flame. Just kind of goes over to one portion of the story. As he stands up, he towers quite happily at full height. Very much would have towered over Liege. Or Liege, as he otherwise wanders over to one particular shelf and just goes, there you go, this will be the one. You got this one, and yeah, that'll do. And he otherwise pulls what looks to be a root off the ceiling, off of one of the cross beams, kind of places them all down on the countertop. You can get a look through those, see if any of them catch your attention. Oh, and if you're looking for something to eat, I might actually recommend honey. We do quite a lot of that here.
Hmm.
And he goes, kind of reaches over to one particular section under the counter and pulls out what looks to be just a jar of honey and places it down. Pretty big jar of honey.
Interesting.
So if you're after anything for eating, they're doable, but outside of that, it's mainly just medical herbs and stuff in here.
Out of the things that he has placed down, which of these smell good to me? Considering my unique scent of smell.
I'll say make me a nature check.
Nature. Oh, come on. I haven't even rolled above a 10. 9.
9.
I get
Most of the ones outside of the honey smell fairly bland. They don't have any particular, like, vibrant smell to them by any means. They don't have any particularly, like, good properties. The ones that are dried have a bit more of a stronger scent to them. But outside of that, there's nothing really defining about them. Same kind of that you got when you were in the sewers. Like, the mushrooms didn't have distinct smells. Taste is more of the profound thing that you'd search for here over the scent. But in terms of the honey, it smells quite sweet. It adds a refreshing smell to it, and it seems to be scented slightly.
do you mind if I taste a little bit of these? Looking for something specific.
If you're wanting cut-offs, I can get... If you're willing to pay, I'll say... like gold, I can give you a piece of each, quite a healthy piece of each, so you can try it.
I'll place down a gold.
Alright. He takes out what looks to be a small set of kind of mini, almost leaf cutters, snips off pieces of each and kind of just places them in front of you, and goes, if you're looking to buy the rest, obviously you can pay the prices for them. Otherwise, you'd be my guest and give them a try.
I'm gonna give each of them a try in order as he mentioned them to me. So, spring bell, then crutch leaf, then the honey.
Okay. Spring bell, you take a piece of it. It's almost like a dried blue petaled flower. And as you take a bite of it, it's got a refreshing taste, but it cuts through with almost like this slightly minty flavour. It's refreshing and sharp, but it's very brief. It's not something that you typically have in a savoury dish. It's something you might have more in a sweeter dish. But it cuts through very, very acutely in your sense, but that's about it. The crutch leaves are nice on their own, but they're bland. It's kind of like having... It's like crackers. They're nice, but without salt or cheese, they're pretty bland and meh. so you don't see what the big whoop about these is, but hey-ho. And finally taking a few bites of the moss tongues. It is spongy, it's wet, it tastes like green. It's not the greatest flavour. It's pretty bitter as well, so it's not that great for what you'd be looking for. As for the honey, it is very sweet, and it's very nice.
Alright. How much for the honey?
After the whole jar of honey, or a smaller one?
I'll go smaller for now.
Alright, he goes over and kind of takes a smaller jar. If this is the sort of thing you're after, this will cost you about 25 gold. Takes out a relatively small sized jar of honey.
Honey. Yeah, I'll take it.
Alright. Okay. You have a reasonable sized jar of wild honey. Alright. Anything for you there, sir? As he looks at you, Vinny.
No, just looking around, really. First time here.
Ah, I get that. Right. Well, I'm going to continue on my project. Call me if you need me.
One more question.
Aye.
I'm also curious about how to make this grow better, and I pull out the non-toxic lady's parasol. It, from my understanding, this one is not able to kill, so I'm trying to grow for lots of food.
Like I said, unfortunately, mushrooms aren't entirely my specialty.
Anyone here you know of that might know?
It might be worth consulting with the sisters, but outside of that, not really anything that might help you.
I see. Okay.
If you're looking for the sisters, they'll be in the Cave of Wonder, given that you're new here.
Cave of Wonder.
It's at the back of the clearing.
Alright. Thank you. I'll
Just
take
as-
my jar and leave.
Just as they're about to leave, Damian has had a thought and comes back in.
Okay. Okay. I'll say, Vinny, you're still hanging around in there as you leave. Back out to Cat as Cat's kind of looking around.
Sorry, sir, I don't know your name. Talking to owner.
It's on the sign outside.
Look, quickly leans back out, tries looking at the sign.
Gansey's Brew and Tinctures. Ganssi.
S-I, Gansey.
Hey.
Are you familiar with a yellowish silver substance? Can occasionally be found in like a crystalline or liquid form?
Who's asking?
Just looking at a knight, just like clearly talking about an illegal substance.
Yeah, he's very much looking at you like, hey, are you prying? Are you accusing?
I'm not asking if you are familiar with its supply or demand. I'm just more curious as to whether you are aware of such a substance, of such a description.
Yes. Nasty stuff, we don't deal with it around here. That stuff's hard stuff. It's not welcome.
Do you know what it's called?
The plant, or the liquid?
Both.
If you're talking about what I think you're talking about, you're looking at Veil Spit. Nasty stuff. It's refined from something known as a lacton globe and a crundel flower. Both of them are heavily regulated and dangerous.
Lactum globe and a
Crundel flower.
Crundel flower.
I
Interesting.
remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nearly killed a member of your party. Anyway.
Okay. Thank you. It's just something that I was unfamiliar with.
If I may ask, in exchange for such information, why are you asking about it?
We happened across some of this substance in the last place we were at.
And if you're looking to get a hold of it, I'd recommend you stop now.
Oh no, we're not looking to get a hold of it. I was just curious as to what it was. As it was something I was unfamiliar with.
I'm still in the room at this point.
Yes,
right?
you are.
Yeah, we were looking to track down the people who are producing it and, well, convince them to stop. Especially if it's as dangerous as you say.
Well, if you're looking for the people who might be making this sort of stuff, I'd turn your attention towards Acres Crossing. A lot of action goes on over there that's usually not very well regulated, as it can be smuggled away fairly easily. Otherwise, go to any unsuspecting wood or town. You might find your culprits there, and if you know who you're looking for. If you don't, good luck. They're very well hidden if they're making Veil Spit.
That's very helpful. Thank you.
Can I recommend that you never take the stuff? If you get yourself hooked, you'll be in a bad way.
I wouldn't even consider it. But
Mm.
thank you.
What
Advice.
does it do to people, out of interest?
It's a hallucinatory drug that causes images of pleasure to show up in the person's view. Pleasure is usually aphrodisiac in nature, and to a certain extent it can also warp your perceptions of time. It's
Oh,
dangerous stuff. Take too much of it and the stuff will kill you.
see why that's regulated.
It's also actively used in certain chemical rituals, used as a form of meditation for certain individuals. Those individuals have it regulated and controlled by your friends. Looking at you, Damian.
Gotcha. How is it taken?
Typically it's smoked. Usually you'll get an apparatus or device, you'll smoke it through that and it'll do its work. The liquid is what gets burned.
Ah, and then crystalline would be if it's kind of evaporated or gone past.
The
use.
crystalline is the residue, which is then the
Got-
concentrated essence. That can
Oh,
then be crushed and inhaled.
Ah,
Like I said, don't get involved in it.
What?
No, if you please. I have work to do.
Damian tosses a gold piece in his direction for the information.
He definitely kind of
Nods.
reaches up, catches it. Just nods.
Nods and then leaves politely.
Right, I will leave as well.
Okay. You leave back out into the clearing. The day is yours.
What I probably said to, I was listening and talking to Kay, to Cat rather, about these people, and then suddenly it was a case of, wait there 1 second, I've just thought of something. And then Cat's probably like, what?
So, what did you have to go back in there for?
I was inquiring inquiring about what we found in Trenlor's Rest, the substance that was being manufactured.
Oh, right, yeah, the stuff, right? Okay, what about it?
What it is.
Oh, what is it?
It's something called Veil Spit, and it's a very, very addictive drug.
Ah,
It produces some untoward effects and can kill if taken in too large a quantity.
Yeah.
So this is actually like highly illegal stuff you should never have.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, closing my inventory tab. At some point we might have to dispose of some of this because not in party, but like I currently have a vial of it. I have still got the 2 syringes. I've actually got a wine bottle of it. It's all in my bags.
Brilliant! Glad I asked now.
If we get arrested, I'm not with them.
You don't get to make that decision, Kay.
Damian is going to be quite clearly like, yeah, this is all on her father, Romulus.
So if we just
He's not here at the moment.
chuck it on the campfire when we go and settle down for the night, just get rid of it.
Oh no, not a good idea. No,
Oh man, that
that
trip would
would-
be amazing.
is that
I
being
mean,
said to me or not?
Yes.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, Damian's gonna be like shaking his head frantically, like, no, you definitely don't want to do that. We'll sort it out once we're out of here and somewhere where there aren't any other people around.
Well, if you think that's incriminating, I'm the one carrying around the brooch still.
Oh, cool. I hope we never get stopped and inspected. We're in a lot of trouble.
That's foreshadowing right there.
Still, if we need to do any infiltration, it could be useful.
Hi. Just a 12-year-old centaur plodding up. So I've got these guys, if you let us.
Hey, could you just turn an eye if I just give you some of this stuff? How do you know we're addicts? Insight check was good.
Wild guess.
Mm-hmm. Just speculation.
Right, well that's really good to know.
You said there were some
Yeah.
people that you knew here. Did you want to maybe try and find them and have a chat, catch up, or is it not too important?
Well, probably not, in fairness. I mean, it's been a long time and a lot has changed since.
Oh, okay.
So, probably not. I just knew some people that said they originated from here. They were nice people.
But you don't want to see them again? Would that be a problem if you saw them again? Or they saw you?
No, just they might ask questions and I'm not ready to be answering them questions.
Should I keep an eye out for them just in case they like look in our direction?
No, I don't think they will. I mean, we should be fine.
Okay.
So, but
Interesting.
yeah, no, I did know some people from here. I have actually heard of this place.
Have we got any other business here, or are we sort of done?
I don't know. I mean, it might be an idea to restock on some things like rations. I mean, pardon me, I only have one.
Did anybody see anything that might sort of deal in metalwork?
Well, there was a smithy.
Yeah, there was a blacksmith.
Oh, have to pop in there then, possibly.
Oh, can I get a reinforced carrot dagger?
What? Actually, probably. Oh, how cool would that be? Carrot dagger.
A what now?
A carrot dagger. You know,
a reinforced carrot dagger.
What's your
Yeah.
AC?
9?
The carrot stabs you.
The carrot stabs me? What?
One just protrudes out the ground and stabs you in the foot.
Yep.
Oh, cool. Now I have 2 carrot daggers.
Nice. Carrot has sentience. They know.
No.
Does Damian witness this?
No, none of this actually happens. But
Oh. That's good then. Why are we talking about carrots?
Carrot dagger. Do you not
Yeah,
remember
carrot
he
dagger.
used it to fight the slime and actually did the most damage? Like, he really hurt the slime with that carrot. Yet when it come to him using the dagger, not so much.
Look, daggers are hard. I don't use those things.
No,
Carrot
the
daggers are a way of life.
carrots 100% are. I love carrots.
Damian's already begun walking off.
okay,
Not looking very happy.
You begin heading your way over. You can see
Towards the smithy.
Yeah, you can see what looks to be 3 to the left side of what looks to be a large cave entrance, where a few individuals are kind of traveling to and from. You see what looks to be 3 long tents, built around what looks to be a reinforced overhang against the back wall of the camp. You see a large forge basin, along with a plethora of smith's tools that are placed around this otherwise unique fashion of this particular smithing area. There is a large table with a variety of tools, from a hook, hammer, and chisel to a few pieces of bandage, cloth, and everything else that would rest to one side of this large open space table, to one portion of this. To
Hang on.
the other side, where it's a little bit more open, where the tables kind of give way, you can see what looks to be a number of barrels that are filled with wrapped weapons. And the barrels clearly say 50, 100, and 150 GP on them. You note the individual who's otherwise leaning behind the countertop is otherwise just kind of looking out across what's going on. I'll just remember which one it is. Hold on. Let me check my notes here. That one's missing. Okay, so you see what looks to be a white furred tabaxi, kind of a lithe complexion, lengthy chin beard that otherwise reaches down to his otherwise partially exposed torso. He wears only a waistcoat, jacket, and kind of trouser shorts that go just below the knee, of almost a chalky green and blue tone that otherwise match well with his dyed fur in places, which are patches of verdant green. He looks kind and warm in character, and as you approach, he kind of stands up, gives you almost a curious look, before going, "Hi, you're looking to purchase a few things, then?"
I'm wondering if you might be able to make something for me, perhaps, or you have something that you could set something in.
Setting as in jewellery or weaponry?
Jewellery.
I can. That would usually be the finer work of my husband, but he's not around at the moment.
Okay. Damian's gonna get the sliver of peridot out and sort of pop it down.
Something like this could be easily fashioned into a bracelet, a necklace, a ring, potentially into some form of basic relief and set filigree, so you can imbue it in something else later. But like I said, that would usually be Brass's work, but he's been gone for some time.
Oh, is he? Do you know when he may be back?
He was supposed to be back 2 days ago, but unfortunately he hasn't. Liege sent out a scout to make sure that he's okay, but they haven't returned either.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. Would you like some assistance?
I mean, you're welcome to go looking for him if you want. There's not much I can really do other than tell you where he went.
Yeah, that would help.
Well, okay. My husband, Brass, is a metallically furred tabaxi. Bright silver eyes. Large number of scars on his shoulders and arms. He otherwise headed west-northwest from here. Headed into the mountains, said he was looking for some runes that he'd found, this large kind of old giant pillar that he'd discovered, and he wanted to take some rubbings of it, study the runes, work on making some more etchings, and fashion some more runes for his smithy work. He does the finer stuff. But he's supposed to have been back a few days ago. When he didn't come back for the first day, I assumed he might have just gotten carried away and he'd found something else. When he didn't come back the second day, I started to worry. And that's when Leech sent the scout out.
Okay. I can't promise you anything, but we possibly have the time to have a look for you.
Have the rest of you followed him, or?
Good question.
Yeah, sure. I got nowhere specific I want to go, and yeah, I guess I can follow.
Cat, Vinny?
Yeah, I'll come along as well.
Okay. Well, if you're sure you want to, you're welcome to. Can't really give you anything in return other than, obviously, it'll help you out with your work and all that. He might not even be in trouble, I don't know.
It's certainly worth checking for you.
My opinion, better safe than sorry.
That is true.
Damian almost jumps out his skin, not realizing that they followed him.
Yeah.
What did you say his name was, sorry?
His name's Brass. Full name is scribed in brass, is his name. And I'm Song. Together we own the Song of Brass Smithy.
A tabaxi, I take it.
Yes, yeah. Yes, he's a kind of a shiny furred, brass-coloured tabaxi. Bright silver eyes. Number of scars and scrapes on his shoulders. Or shoulders and upper arms, anyway. Might be carrying a book with him, if the rest of his features aren't pronounced enough.
Book. Oh, right.
Did he ever say what this pillar may have been? Besides something with runes on it?
He just said that he went to look at it. It said that it was a piece of interesting work. Just some ancient pillar, had some giant runes written on the surface. He wanted to study it, wanted to get some rubbings, and then bring them back and potentially see if he could translate any of it into etchings.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. Okay, yeah, I think we'd be more than happy to help, wouldn't we, guys? Looks back.
Sorry, I've just got back. A rune pillar?
Aye.
Yeah. I've gone to the smithy. The smithy, I've asked inquiring about something to do with my peridot, and if it could be made into jewelry. And the smithy said, well, actually, that's my husband's business, but he's not here right now, and he's been missing for 2 days. So Damian's like,
oh,
he
was supposed to come back 2 days ago.
Come back a couple of days ago, yeah.
Yeah, he headed into the mountains west-northwest of here to go and study a pillar with giant runes on it so that he could turn it into etchings. But he otherwise hasn't returned.
Okay. I mean, we can help if everyone else. Yeah, if everyone wants to help, we can help. Yeah.
That'll be very gracious of you, I will say, to just go out on a limb. I mean, you're new to the camp. I saw you come in from the other side using the new person's entrance.
That was a new person's entrance. Looks at Kay, just like, oh, you knew this?
I've never been here before.
When you're coming in for the first time, you go through the middle hole. It's a sign of friendship. If you end up being a random individual and you don't know where you are, we turn you away, or we take you to the sisters and they eat you. If you otherwise looking to be friends, then we're willing to be friends. If you otherwise turn us in, then we make sure you never see the light of day again.
The
Sorry,
sisters?
the sisters do what?
And they eat us?
Oh, I was looking to talk to them. How do I find them?
On occasion, they eat people if they're bad individuals, but not often. Don't take that at its word. It probably made it sound worse than it is. They're in the cave back there. If you're gonna go have a look, do it in a bit. Yeah. Outside of it, when you're leaving, there's a main gate over there. Just place your hand on the wall and the door will open. It's marked by the weird rune. You'll be able to pass straight through. Otherwise, if you're helping me out here, then I'll be very gracious of you if you're heading that way. There is a staircase at the back. There's an archway over there. You should be able to take that to get to the top, and you can walk out then. Just make a note of the way in. Otherwise, you won't be able to find it on the way back.
Okay,
Yeah.
shall do so.
Yes, will do.
Okay. That's noted. Okay.
But we've already helped some people somewhere before, so I see no issue in helping others at all.
It is mighty
Happy
fine
to
of you.
help.
Well, do please still take a look around. If any of you use weapons, you might find some of these useful or better than others, and so if you've got the coin for it, there might be some things here that catch your attention.
I kind of take a look at my dagger. My dagger doesn't look too good, does it?
No, it's partially eroded. It had slime attached to it at one point. It's seen better days, and the carrot at this point's got moldy.
Oh,
It's turning into slime in your pocket.
it's okay. The carrot has done its job. How much to repair this?
Prepare. She takes it and goes, oh no, he takes it, sorry, and goes, honey, I can just get you a new one. They're cheaper. Repairing this would take a lot more work than it would getting you a new one, unless it's got some value to you that you want to keep it.
Not really. I thought repairing would be cheaper. I don't.
No, that's fair. And she watches they just chuck it over their shoulder, and you hear it like clank in a large metal bucket. Let's see here. If you're just after basic weapons, or you're looking for better than standard?
Basic. I don't normally use normal weapons.
Cost you 2
Should
gold
say.
for something like this?
Sure, I'll pay 2 gold for a dagger.
Okay. You get a dagger for 2 gold. I'll say the rest of you looking over the different weapons here, I'll say you can see daggers, hand axes, sickles, spears, short bows, long swords, rapiers, scimitars, short swords, war picks, whips, hand crossbows, and longbows. And there is a select few of those short swords, daggers, and scimitars which are of a better quality. There's also ammunition for bows, arrows, and bolts. Or darts, arrows, and bolts, sorry.
Looks at Vinny. Vinny, did you need any more arrows? I know you used quite a number.
Vinny?
Sorry
Vinny
about
has.
that. Yes, I only had what I could scavenge up, really. What's yes, how much are the arrows?
If you're just looking for a bundle of 10 or 20, 20 will cost you a gold.
Yeah, that seems a fair price. I will hand over a gold.
Hand over a gold, you have 10 additional arrows. Or 20 additional arrows, sorry.
Perfect.
Anything for the rest of you?
My object would, well, hopefully require finding your husband to help.
I can understand.
I don't need nothing that's sharp and pointy. I have my dagger.
Romulus?
I'm not gonna buy anything from Romulus or Lloyd while they're not here.
Glances at Romulus. Romulus glances back.
I will say, if you were looking for better arrows, we have those. Don't know how keen you are at using your ranged weapon, as well as a few modifications. But outside of that, if you're willing to pay a little bit extra,
It depends really on how much extra is extra and how much better is better.
Well, from what my husband said, these are keen arrows. They're better than others and they're more accurate, but outside of that, I don't know if they do anything else. You would be able to get 20 plus 1 to hit only arrows for 15 gold. And there are 2 available bundles of these at this current time. They are plus 1 to hit only. They have the keen special word.
These are non-magical, correct?
These are classed as etched. They are non-magical, correct?
Okay, so they maintain their +1 problem.
They maintain their plus 1 to hit, and they will keep it so long as they are preserved, but they are also non-magical in the sense that if you fire it into lava or it hits a hard object and snaps, it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no, oh, I'm going to sticky tape it back together.
It's okay, I'll just eat it.
You'll become the arrow.
Fire K from a short bow.
It could be done.
It could be done. But we've also got other things as well. We've got modifications for weapons, basic things, more especially for bows, but we've also got ribbons as well. We've only got 1 left at the moment, but we've also got a drawstring for a bow, if that interests you.
I'm going to pull out my short bow. I usually only keep this on me for emergencies, but could be worth modifying it.
It'll cost 75 gold for our current drawstring that we've got. You watch that he otherwise kind of looks around, grabs what looks to be a small pouch, looks at the label. He's written on it, it's called a savage drawstring. Not entirely sure what that means, but anyhow. With the savage word, it will allow you to re-roll all of the weapon's damage dice once per attack action. And you can remove this drawstring and add it to another bow later on, and you can add these to magical weapons as well.
Okay.
As for the ribbon, ribbons are fairly standard. It's 100 gold for one if you're looking for it. Ribbons, when they are equipped to an item or tied to an item, the item is considered magical, gaining a +1 to hit and damage. However, roll a 1d20 at the start of each dawn after you have critically hit or failed during that day using the weapon, where it shreds on a natural 1. Alternatively, if it loses power, it will lose power permanently if affected by dispel magic effects, such as anti-magic cone or a dispel magic being cast on it. Ribbons are consumables, but they are cheap +1 items. And again, you can apply ribbons to magical weapons that don't usually have +it added, and you can add it to it. Typically, ribbons are only ever made in +1 variety, because making them in +2 or +3 is expensive, and not worth it, because they are consumables.
Yeah.
But for those of you who may have more money than the others, this is something that you can use to your advantage. So, Savage Drawstring is 75 gold. There are 2 bundles of Keen Arrows, which are 15 gold apiece, or 15 gold for bundles of 20. And then there is 1 +1 ribbon currently available.
Well, the rest of my money's for food, so
Mine's for room.
yeah.
Oh, while we're
Um,
talking options, talk to me about these scimitars.
Yep. What about them? You looking for better ones? You're looking to modify them?
They had some better ones on display, right?
Yes, they did.
Yeah. These ones, what sets them apart?
You look at the scimitars, and they have been refined to a very nice point. They are very well designed. They will cost you 75 gold piece per scimitar, as opposed to the usual 25. However, they will be of a good quality, which means... Let me quickly get the new crafting system for this. A good quality weapon rolls damage dice with advantage. So you'd roll 2d6s and take the higher. It's weapon damage only, but it does mean that it will carry over to your crits, so your 2d6 will be 2d6 with advantage. I will say you also do see in a case not far from there, you see a label attached to a rapier, which looks of a very excellent make for 175 gold. You do know that there are others as well that are cased, but they are weapons that don't necessarily attract your attention. One that looks to be a warhammer of some design, and another one which looks to be kind of a closed box, so you can't tell what's in it, but by its length you guess it's some form of dagger.
Okay. Well,
Now-
I'll tell you what. Sorry, you go on.
I was just going to say, and remember with the 2-weapon fighting, if you use a rapier and a dagger, you can still benefit from 2-weapon fighting, despite the rapier not being a light weapon.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you were to use a rapier and a dagger, you could use it, but if you use a rapier and a scimitar, you can't.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I would prefer not to spend that kind of money without careful consideration, but
Of
I
course.
assume the plan is to come back here at some point. Given
mean,
that we are
if we're
looking for
gonna
a partner.
rescue. Yeah.
Exactly. So, could I just for the time being take 4 daggers as well?
Just basic ones or better ones?
Just basic ones.
Yeah, that should be fine. So that'll be 4 gold. No,
That's
8 gold, sorry,
8
for 4
gold.
daggers.
I was about to say, I got ripped off. I want my gold back.
No.
Saw
Kate-
you coming.
Kay would rather spend it on food.
You would. What's more important than food?
Weapons. They help you get food.
I have weapons.
Yeah, he has a slime.
I
slimy
am
carrot.
weapon.
Yeah, that's fair. You are a weapon.
True.
A weapon of food destruction.
Yep. Where that cheesecake at?
Cheesecake?
Kay has not discovered the cheesecake yet.
Oh no.
Needs to play more Trivial Pursuit.
Yep.
Look, at some point we will be a part of an eating contest, and Kay will win so much money.
He just keeps going. He's not even growing. Alright. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Well, if that's all, then just head into the mountains. I know it's very vague, I'm sorry, but you might have to look around for a bit. He said look for some kind of tour on a large section of the mountain high. There's a number of rocks, and from there you can clearly see what looks to be an overcast of like a sunken area, where there's a number of where there's a pillar. He said there's also forest nearby as well, but I'm not sure exactly if he would have delved into it at all.
It. Do you? I know this might sound weird, but do you have anything of his to help be able to track them?
I mean, they're his tools, but if you're looking for things like scent-wise or something like that, not really.
Mm.
Do you not have a work rag or something like that?
A number of rags, but most of them are sooty or they've been washed.
Mm.
I usually wash them when he goes out on these expeditions. I can check to see if there is one for you, but don't get your hopes up, I'm afraid.
If you do, it would just help find him.
Sure. I'm going to say, K, go ahead and roll me a d20. On a 19 or 20, there will be a rag available.
Oh goodness!
Wow.
No.
You're talking to the person that has yet to roll above a 10.
Well, you know, might have rolled it. We don't know. In this instance, no. No, they've all been washed, I'm afraid. A lot of his clothes have as well.
Okay.
Alright. Worth a try. Anyways, I want to go see sisters now. And find Leash. Jerk ran off. Was I actually... I don't remember if I was told that I wouldn't get a reward for delivering it. Was I?
You weren't told you were going to get a reward.
True, but like, come on. I literally traveled from one place to another to deliver this. I should get something.
Maybe you will. We'll see.
Depends how
Satisfaction
good
that you took it to him.
Yeah, it depends how good it is.
Yeah, you got to speak to Shot's beloved.
Oh God. Alright then.
Okay. Should we go to these two sisters then? And
I-
they're not going to eat us, right?
doubt it.
There's 3, and if you behave yourself,
I don't think Kay should go and see these sisters.
I'm going to the sisters.
Out of all of us that are potentially going to get eaten.
You can't stop me.
And this is
Damian-
why he's going to get eaten.
Damian decides that maybe it's a good idea to have a little look at where that archway is, where those stairs out.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what we're going to do, so we're going to go see the two sisters. Price should recommend getting some food, some rations, 3 sisters, whatever sisters. And then go up the arch and the stairs and then go look for
Grass.
us.
Oh, he's about 2 days travel out of camp.
2 days travel.
And by his
Okay.
standards, I don't know if that'll be faster or slower, given your group how used you are with walking in mountain terrain. Looks at you, cat.
Damian just sort of like, about that.
Mountain terrain. Yeah, no.
Alright, people can
No.
deal with getting rations and stuff. I'll be right back real quick.
Yep,
And
that's
then
fine.
Kay's... If I'm not back in time, Kay's insisted on going to sisters.
I was going to say,
Right.
we're going to take a quick break in a moment after this, so yeah, that should be fine.
Okay.
Right, then, okay. So, I mean, now that we've got this information, we could do that. So, it's rations, the sisters, and then head out.
I
Is that the
suppose.
plan?
Okay. I will say,
I believe so.
I will allow all 4 of you all of those who are looking for rations to roll me an investigation check, DC 25.
Oh, that sucks.
As mentioned earlier when Vinny rolled his check, they don't keep preserved food here. It comes in from some other means, you're not entirely sure.
Well, that's a 19, so...
Nope. You can't find anyone selling rations.
Well, I don't need any, but if the others do, I will help look.
I don't
Investigation, you say?
Mhm.
2.
You probably need a natural 20 here because
I
don't.
would, yes.
Yeah. No, in this instance, you have a look around. No one's selling
Again, I'll have a
rations.
look in case anybody else needs some,
Yeah.
but I don't need it myself. Is it investigation, did you say?
Yep.
Cool. So I need, done that 20, but better.
Nat 20 as well.
Oh,
No.
close.
In this instance, you all look around. No one's selling rations. There are places that are selling fresh food.
Okay, is anywhere selling salt?
I will say, the only place to be selling
Romulus.
salt will probably be brews and tinctures. Might sell it.
Okay, so because me and Romulus have been out, and he's very much educated me on how to preserve food. So, can I get the stuff to preserve some food? for
Okay.
short term?
I will say, in a large enough quantity to preserve food, go ahead and roll me an additional investigation check. I'll say the DC for this one I'm going to say is 15, and it'll be lower. And this will be to try and find somewhere that will sell you a large enough quantity.
Oh my god, that's 9.
I forgot.
Hmm?
I just forgot that there was something else I wanted to look for here.
Okay, we'll get to that in a moment. So, I'll say, Cat, you look around for somewhere that might sell large quantities of salt. Outside
Can
of
I use-
small amounts of salt and
Can I
salt
use
shakers.
Jeff to give me advantage? Can he do the help action?
I'll say, as this is in post, I'll let you... Okay, I'll give you a choice. Describe to me how Jeff is going to help you with this task, or you may roll with advantage where the DC goes up to 20.
Okay. He's going to fly up and also have a look around, as he's also been traveling with me and Romulus for a while. So I will say, look for meat, and I know Romulus has got salt. I think I've got a tiny bit of it, and this stuff. So he knows roughly what we're looking for. That'll be interesting to see what he comes back with.
Okay.
Hoping he has intelligence.
Okay. Go ahead and make a second roll then, please. This will be an investigation check with Jeff,
Yes.
who has a plus...
Oh,
Oh, natural 20.
Beauty.
Jeff's better than I am. So.
Okay. Going around and with Jeff being able to fly, there are a number of things that catches Jeff's attention. You do not take note of most of these things on what catches Jeff's attention, but you do note that he seems to point you in the direction of the tavern and inn-like location here, if you can even call it that, of what looks to be the large open area of hanging fabrics, where you can see there's kind of this large, one of those triangular kind of A signs that sit outside pubs with a chalkboard.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, there's one of those just sat outside the fabric front of this. You see it says the Showman's Starlight. And fabric in kind of a very fashionable font. And you can see that there is a large kind of pub in the centre of it with a number of skewers currently being cooked over open fire. Skewers don't seem to have very big objects on them, but yeah.
Okay. Then I will head over in that direction. Probably taking Romulus with me. As he's
Okay.
adulting.
Okay. Okay. You head over to what looks to be inside of the Showman's Starlight. You see it's a series of hanging fabrics that divide various rooms, almost like tents would. Within what looks to be this large open area and large overhang from the rock above. The rooms, as they would be called, all seem to be closed off by hanging fabrics, not really giving much privacy in terms of noise. But hey-ho. The main opening of this otherwise resting room in the middle is a large open floor plan, tables, chairs, what looks to be the singular countertop in the middle with the open fireplace grills, and tapped kegs that otherwise rest around and behind the counter itself. You see what looks to be a chalky pink tiefling with 2 large ram horns, each of which have been have what look to be tied and dangling strings of beads, most of which seem to be of a coloured porcelain in the shape of different fruits. He wears what looks to be a simple apron, very much a floral pattern to it, to cover the top half of him, and otherwise with no shirt underneath, it would seem, and a rolled up at the waist boiler suit that has always been rolled up to form almost this belt around the exterior, where his muscular arms are otherwise riddled with tattoos of insects and webs. Hi, friends! You looking to get yourself a little bit of drink, or maybe a lighter drink for the little one?
I've come here because I need to get some cooked meats, potentially some salts and some cloth if possible,
Cooked meats.
or some meats. Either way.
I don't sell meat here. I'm not exactly one for meats per se.
Okay, what's the things he said said he had on the sticks?
You take a closer look. And you'd screened it out earlier as you were asking the individuals at the table the question. You screened out that the individual was eating something off of a skewer. You have a look at this very thin skewer, and you see large locusts, spiders, tarantulas, all skewered on the exterior, all the way through this chain of a kebab. Yeah, we're purveyors of insects and various alcoholic substances. We do cockroach specials, if you're interested, or bowls of dragonflies. They'll keep once cooked. We do cooked fruits as well, but that'll spoil in a few days.
Okay,
Place of bug food. I like it.
You
I'm gonna
know-
go.
it's. I'm gonna look at Romulus. You know, I've had weirder.
Romulus just goes, I'll take 5, and I'm actually going to remove the gold from him.
Oh my god. Okay.
It's
I will-
something he'd do. Sorry, Harlan, if you're watching this
yes.
back, but you would. Don't deny it.
No, I will also take some and some fruits.
You know what I can hear Romulus saying? I can hear Romulus going, it's very nutritious.
Yes, I can imagine it as well. I was literally just like, it's very good.
It's very nutritious.
Oh,
Once you get past
Almost pure protein.
the...
Yes! See, we've got him. It's fine.
We've got
yeah.
it down to pat. Okay.
The hairs may
Okay.
tickle
Oh.
your throat.
I'll take plenty. How many do you need, Cat?
I was just gonna take 5 and some fruit, and yeah, that should do. We're not planning on going out for too long. What? It's a 3-day journey. Give allocation for how long we'll be there. So
Yeah.
call it 6, maximum 8 days. Giving 3 days there. Also hunting on the road. So I'd probably say, yeah,
On the
5
road,
should be
in the
enough.
mountains, but yeah.
In the mountain, hunting nevertheless. I mean, we'll find more bugs up there, I suppose. But yeah, no, that's cool. If we could take 5 and some fruit.
Does he
That's
not
for
have
me.
any rations? Oh no, he does have rations. That sort of thing should be fine. 5 rations, well, the equivalent of... I'll say bunch of dragonflies, some cockroaches and tarantulas. Let's go with 3 gold.
Okay, eyes water a little bit. It's like, oh, bugs. Okay, there you go. Here's 3 gold.
Harlan is going to do, or Romulus is going to do the same. I am going to put those in his rations.
And the fruit.
And I'm going to put a mix of fruit and it's smiley face. He can ask me about it later. Okay. He turns to, well, Romulus otherwise turns to him and goes, do you also have any salt? I have some meat to preserve. And the individual turns and goes, I have some. Don't really use it outside of seasoning, so there's not much. It'll cost you because it's quite expensive, but I can get you some. Sure. And Romulus, I'll say, spends 2 additional gold on some salt. And he's going to spend the time, while you guys are talking to the sisters or something, turning 6 rats into rat jerky.
Here's something he would also do.
Yeah.
Counts as rations. Rats, I'm going to turn into rat skins. No, not rat skins, rat hat. Oh, wait, no, I can just add them to rat skins, rat hat. Oh, that's fine. He has 18?
Wow.
He has a lot of rats. Okay.
Oh, he also has 4 uncooked rat meat rations. Oh, okay, I'll add those to his list as well then. So he's got oh man, he's got a lot. He's got freaking 10 rat jerky. Oh, excellent.
That's fine. Me and him will be fine there. Oh, yeah.
Cat won't know what it is.
No, Cat will.
Oh, okay.
Because Romulus will vocalize exactly what it is.
This is
Yeah.
true.
And we'll describe in great detail how we prepared it.
Yes.
Exactly.
And here's one I prepared earlier. Pulls out a rat covered in salt, just completely skinned, deboned, and then it's just dried rat. And he's just been hanging it off of the back of his backpack while he walks. That's why he walks behind Cat.
It will taste much nicer with some honey.
Yes, he would say that as well. It'll taste much better with some honey and some sweet tea. Mm. Any Harlan isn't here.
So
Romulus
No,
isn't
it's
here and we
quite
know it.
big time.
Yeah.
Oh. So, that's the rations sorted. I will say we'll take a quick break here before we resolve the other stuff. It was rations, sisters, and then was there anything else?
They're heading out. I
I was
then-
looking
and
for
then-
books.
Books? Nah.
But no books here.
The books which people have are kept in private manner. They keep books for themselves, for their own personal reading. They don't keep books for other people. And they also don't have bookshops.
Don't have anybody selling
Yep.
books. Just
Uncivilized people, if they don't have a second-hand bookshop, I'm disappointed in this place.
Mm.
Uncivilized? I wouldn't say that to them while you're a knight in the middle of their camp.
Well, no, obviously
Yeah.
not.
Alright, we'll take a quick break here. We'll be back in about 2-3 minutes. Is everybody going to the sisters, or is it just going to be Kay and Vinny and Damian, given that Romulus and
Oh,
Cat went
I
as well?
was going to
I think we're all
investigate this
going.
archway. I was going to investigate this archway
Oh,
because
you're going to go investigate the archway.
I was told that if you behave, they won't eat you, and Damien already doesn't believe he's going to be able to behave.
Doesn't
so he's
trust
just gonna-
himself. Okay.
Doesn't even trust himself.
I
at the
don't
moment,
trust Damian.
Okay, so the rest of the party is going to go see the sisters. Damian's going to inspect the arch. Okay, I'll say this will mean that when it comes to returning, if you're the one making the survival check, you'll have advantage because you will have inspected the way in and out thoroughly.
Gotcha.
So mark that down somewhere because when you're
I will
coming back,
attempt
you'll need to use assumptions. Yeah.
I'm going to put a note. So, if doing
Either way,
survival-
I'll describe that to you in a bit. But for now, we'll take a quick break. Be back in a mo. Don't go anywhere.
A second week without Tusk Love.
Mm.
Well, it's okay because after the discovery that there was a tiefling called Sting, I discussed with Harlan some ideas for characters.
Okay.
So something along the line of it would make perfect sense for a bard character who basically just loves to regale with his party, and any NPCs lucky enough with garbled tales based on songs from the 70s and 80s. And then Harlan said, "Oh, excellent! Cast Revivify of Resurrection. We're never going to give you up."
Oh no.
And on that note, I'm going to get myself a drink.
Yeah.
Children. What is it, child? Bye, child.
Right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Has anybody headed off, or just for a break?
New
Jamie's
Jamie.
run off to grab a drink.
Simon, are you still here? I'll say that as a no.
Yes, child.
You enjoying
need,
the session
child?
so far?
Yeah, boy.
You didn't sound very
Lack of
convinced.
barring food.
No, I am. I was. Oh. Like,
Do you have a problem with rat rations and insect rations there, Cat?
no,
Oh, that's good.
no,
That's good.
Romulus
I'll
will be
make
thrilled
sure
to
you have
hear.
plenty.
no. Oh, they're definitely. When it comes to eating it, it's going to be a different story.
Oh, you gotta try some termites.
I mean, I've lived with Romulus now for what, a month and a bit.
Let's see. Well, they specialize in locusts, crickets, cockroaches, and dragonflies, but they also do things such as tarantulas and scorpions on the occasion.
Oh, I want a scorpion.
Oh, good God. Yeah, no.
You didn't go with them. You don't know.
I'm giving Romulus my tarantulas slash anything like that on a skewer. I'm just gonna stick with like the dragonflies and the
They're crunchy. They are nice.
bugs that can. Just...
I've
yeah.
never eaten them personally. I'm the kind of person who would actually be willing to try various insects, with the exception of tarantula. I'd be willing to
Crickets
try.
are really, really nice.
Crickets, locusts, and dragonflies are three that I would be interested in trying. Tarantulas and cockroaches, no.
Crickets and locusts are nice. I haven't tried dragonfly
Oh,
or anything
Kyle.
that's got 8 legs. That's never gonna happen.
Go.
No, that's fair.
And I had pet scorpions, so I wouldn't eat them.
Oh, fair enough. I've not tried scorpion. I've not tried a lot of this.
Leave all the bits but the stinger. Just eat the stinger.
Just the stinger. Oh, it's much like, so it's like prawns then. You eat just the tail.
Yeah.
What?
Or fish, you just eat the tail.
Yeah,
and the
exactly.
eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Eyes. Specifically, I like fish brain. Who are you to tell me otherwise?
I mean, fish eyes are oily because you bite into them and it's kind of hard, and then it gets like the softy squish bit.
Don't.
Just like sort of an interesting fish flavoured jelly.
Jamie's just thrown up. Alright. I'll say new Jamie or Damian. While you're going and inspecting the archway, you head into the archway and you otherwise travel up. And there's a little way as you travel that you get to what looks to be just a basic doorway on the exterior. And it's like, oh, this doesn't look too bad. This seems fairly obvious. And as you take a few steps away, you kind of go, okay, well, I'll give this a quick look from further away and see what they mean. And as you kind of take some steps away, you note that the doorway disappears.
Huh.
And you know that the terrain around it becomes suddenly various bushes and rocky terrain, and it looks exceptionally natural. So much so that as you otherwise look on to try and see where the hole for the camp is and see the rest of it, there isn't.
Oh,
And you begin to realize that this camp is concealed by some form of magic that you are very unfamiliar with. And it's not off-putting, but it's like a, clever moment. They're using some form of illusion magic to protect the whole camp. Welcome back, Simon.
Sorry, I'm back. Yes.
That's right. So yeah, you pick up on that.
Gotcha.
So, as you inspect that, you've now got advantage on survival for trying to find the entrance in the future, but for now, the rest of you, as you begin to make your way into the cave here, the cave entrance otherwise changing from the fresh outside to more of a slightly muggy and damp smell in here. You take a step in, and a few steps in, kind of travelling down a little bit of a walkway, before you see a starry scape before you. Complete pitch black for those of you without dark vision, and even those of you with dark vision. A pitch black covering to this entire area of this cavern, but with lights otherwise creeping through in various spots, almost like stars across this, forming almost constellations and galaxies. But as you look closer and your eyes begin to adjust to the natural light of the cave, you watch as it begins to give way to a large open cave. A walkway leading round to the left and the right, with a large lake in the centre of it. And at the centre of that lake is a series of crystals that have grown upwards in this large and very much beautiful fashion. Similar to that of the wild convenience crystals, in fact, that you'd seen not too far from here at the Bevert's Manor. But these ones are orange in coloration. Kind of a pale orange with white flecks to them, showing off this almost light glint that covers across the surface of the deep water here, reflecting what little light there is as you watch as tieflings wander by. A number of them that do wander by throw up hoods as they wander inwards.
Sorry, I walked away for a sec. What is this?
This is the Cave of Wonders that you have just entered.
Oh.
You see a walkway leading round to the right and left.
I
I will follow suit and put my hood up.
Okay.
already have mine up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if it's a thing, but I'm doing it.
Oh, I would have had one.
You have your travel cloak.
Ah, okay.
That's just Lloyd, so I say
Yes.
Lloyd chucks his up, and Romulus chucks his up.
I will put mine up as well.
Okay.
Should have one on my coat.
Everyone in suit puts their hood up. Which way do you go? Left or right? To note, the crowds are going left and coming towards you on the right.
Okay, so I guess follow the mainstream and go left since everybody's coming from the right.
Okay.
Is there actually anybody going right or
Doesn't look like it, no.
okay, so then left.
Okay. Taking the lead, you begin down the leftmost path. As you travel by, you see what little source of light that there is in here are naturally growing white and orange crystals, giving off an essence of light that seems to reflect and refract across the various other crystals and the water in this place as well, giving off an air of underground mystery to this place. Kay, you do not feel off-put by the light that is produced from these crystals. It feels strangely natural. You do not feel like there is a magical intent behind this that is maliciously going against your senses. It's strange. I would like everyone to go ahead and roll me stealth checks, please.
Oh, I'm so glad I didn't go in.
I mean, I'm not trying to be stealthy, so I'm just casually walking. Alright.
Okay. Yeah, this will
Realised
still
we're
be.
trying to be
This is
stealthy.
no. This isn't necessarily you trying to be stealthy. This is you going in and seeing if I notice anything.
Oh boy.
Okay, that makes sense, Vinny. Not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you are wandering around, you travel along this pathway, and I'll say with the vision from those of you who have dark vision, Kay and Vinny, you both notice that across the water, there's a sudden movement from the central crystal as something dives off of it into the lake.
Where's this lake? Is it at the bottom?
No, it's at the center. So if you were to just, it's a completely flat plane in here. You're walking around the edge of the lake on the walkway, but the walkway is maybe a couple feet away from the water's edge itself. But you guys have been following the walkway thus far.
Huh.
Possibly disrespectful to bring any light in here, so I don't want to do that. But I do want to take a slightly closer look at the water as we're walking around.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay attention to the water as well, see if I can see anything in there.
Go ahead and make perception checks, you two. DC for this will not be that high.
Not great. 7.
7?
17.
Okay. I'll say, Vinny, as you look in the water, you can see kind of like a haze of yellow and orange, similar to what you'd seen before, kind of at the bottom of the lake, as it almost bowls like a basin. And you can see that the crystals on the ceiling seem to drip this kind of bright, almost bright white and amber coloured liquid, which falls into the water and instantly becomes this bluish motion, as otherwise blurs with the rest of it. While Kay, you look in to the water itself from this distance, and you can see that below the surface of this are piles and piles of gold.
Huh. I... Hmm. Interesting. So, out of character, it's like a feeling of like a wishing well.
In a way, it gives you that kind of vibe, but the gold here, from Kay's understanding of money, there's about maybe 45,000 bear claws worth in here. Maybe more.
Oh, that's a lot of bear claws. Uh, hmm. Well, seeing as there's money in there, somebody had to have put it there. I'm not sure how. And there has to be a reason. Kay is curious to figure out what happens when money is put inside.
Okay.
Kay is going to flick a single gold coin in.
Okay. You take a gold coin, you flick it, you watch as it passes, hits the water with a light splash, disappears into the water, and glides down and joins one of the piles. As this happens, Vinny, as you're looking into the water where you are, you watch as, in this instant, as you're otherwise looking about, a face suddenly appears from the water, looking up at you. Well, aren't you a handsome one? As you see
I get that a lot.
as you see a otherwise dark blue-skinned female fey elven individual. You see that their legs, however, have been replaced with a large tail, a fin, in fact. You see that they wear what looks to be almost a simple, thin silk gown of a shimmering crystal coloration, and what looks to be plaited, long green hair that otherwise flows and floats in the water, of a seaweed or kelp coloration. You see this particular individual is very beautiful, and otherwise complemented with a lot of jewellery, rings, necklaces, and otherwise looks at you with very bright golden eyes and a smile across her face. What brings someone like you here? And you watch as she begins to twirl some of her hair in her finger.
Now, just to check, Vinny is not the most generally knowledgeable person.
This is true.
But, given his personal history, there's no way he hasn't heard at least something about mermaids, right?
I'd say, given your personal history, go ahead and roll me... either a nature or an arcana check with advantage. This is to discern what this is. Okay.
Nature or arcana. The result is 17 either way.
Okay, which one would you prefer?
Nature, I think.
Okay. You've heard tales of mermaids. Where you've come from, sailors have mentioned them as being creatures of good omens. And Mero and Sirens are the ones to look out for. Deep folk, dangerous ones. You've heard of stories of both. This isn't that. This is the freshwater variety known as a water nymph. A creature more specifically dwelling from the Feywild. But something of note either way to a body of water. A creature that protects a particular body of water for one reason or another. The nature of it exactly, you're unsure of. But you can discern the difference that this is a nymph and that this particular individual can most likely transform so that they can walk on land after they have proceeded to leave the water.
Right. So, sorry, what was the question again?
The question? Oh, the question was discerning the difference between a mermaid and this. So in this instance, you would understand that this is a nymph, not a mermaid.
No, but she was saying something before I
Oh,
took a digression out. to figure
what
out
brings
if I
you
knew
to this part? Or these parts?
Well, we came to deliver a package. Now we're looking for the sisters.
Well, you've found them. Or one of them at least.
Ah. Do you mind if I introduce you to my friends here?
She takes a cursory glance at the rest of you. Notes the lack of dark vision for some of you who are just kind of squinting into the darkness trying to see stuff. I'm not as interested in that.
Fair enough. Again, I get that a lot.
You're very confident for yourself, and you're not quite a showman. Not as decorated as the others. Is there a reason for that?
I don't really know much about that sort of thing. I'm just a traveller.
You smell of salt. Somewhere from the sea, perhaps?
The coast, up north.
I see. You watch as most of your party looks over, and you see now standing there in what looks to be standing before you, not too far from you, a little bit further down the path, and otherwise looking at all of you, and more specifically at the nymph in the water. A chalky blue-skinned female fey form, much like her sister, but she wears thick wizard robes and carries what looks to be a large bleached coral staff that otherwise ebbs and flows with different and odd colours, moving to and from of different coral pieces. She has otherwise gentle silver eyes, and as she otherwise watches as what's going on, she otherwise walks up. You can see that her forearms and wrists are otherwise tattooed with what looks to be coverings of eyes, very similar to Lloyd's. Shame you had to miss this episode and have this and lack their conversation, but oh well.
Oh, more eyes.
She wanders up and just goes, Bugdies, please. Please show our new guests some respect. I know that things haven't been easy having the same people over and over again, but please respect yourself. Show some dignity. You see she scoffs and goes back to staring at you, Vinny. My name is Raymunda. I am one of the three sisters here. You are new folk, from what I understand?
Yes.
May I please hear your names?
Okay.
Cats.
You can call me Vinny.
Oh yeah, Damian's not there.
Nope.
Romulus and Lloyd. Okay. All of you note the following.
Okay.
Vinny and Romulus's names are the only two which do not cause the staff to flash. I take it some of you are hiding secrets. I can understand, and you do not want to use your real names. This is a place of safety, but I can understand. Some of you have more information that you were otherwise hiding. I respect that. Just know that I am the keeper of knowledge in this sanctum. I will be keeping an eye on you all.
Curious now. Hold on. Just gotta double check. I K34. Does it flash again?
It does, but in a different color. I will say, for distinction, yours initially when you said K flashes red. Now it flashes orange, the same as Cat's. Actually, no. Cat's flashes red, sorry, and Lloyd's flashes orange. Intriguing.
What does orange mean?
You do not know your real name.
Not my name?
No. Well, that is beside the point. You have come here for a reason, and you have placed an offering. And my sister seems to be preoccupied, a bit distracted at the moment. So if there's anything that I can help any of you with, you may speak to me. Otherwise, if you're looking for different knowledge, then I can call upon our final sister if you wish.
Now Kay has something more intriguing to ask. Can you help me understand what I am?
Is that your offering? What you wish to know?
Yes.
She takes a step forward, and she places her palm on your forehead. How much health do you have?
I have 38.
That would be... Okay. With 38 hit points, you feel this sudden surge of magic, and you are not knocked incapacitated, as an overwhelming force of magic shoots through your mind, and you suddenly recoil, hair sticking up on end as you shoot backwards 30 feet from her grasp. Your eyes, to the point of nearly being able to see directly behind you.
Okay, divination.
This is a visceral reaction to a very high level divination magic.
Ow!
Is that the condition you were speaking of?
Yes.
You, my friend, are what is known as magically sensitive. Magic otherwise will affect you in different ways. This is both a good and a bad thing. It will unfortunately burn and eat away at you until one day consuming you, to the point that the natural magic of the world will kill you. The good thing, however, is that you seem to have a tame control over it, and it seems to be dormant. Otherwise, that might have killed you.
Ow.
The fact that you're feeling pain means that you are not in a stage of awakening. Whether you wish to awaken it, I'll leave up to you. That is something for you to decide and achieve, and something I cannot help you with.
I see.
Your offering has been accepted. The rest of you? Vinny, at this point, while she is gazing into your eyes, go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
You got this, Vinny.
I do not got it.
Well, she rolled a natural 20
She
on
did.
whatever she was doing.
Yeah, that's a 13.
13. She's very attractive and giving you some very interesting looks. You know what it means. It's up to you whether you want to or not.
This is the not mermaid one, right?
Oh no, this is the mermaid one currently.
Yeah, this is the one in the water.
Yeah, the mermaid that's not a mermaid. I forget what you called her.
The nymph.
The nymph.
The water nymph that's
Yeah.
in the water. In the
The
lake.
nymph that's in the water is giving you these interesting looks and otherwise...
Not the wizard
being-
one in wizard.
No. The wizard one is currently talking to the rest of your friends, yeah.
Yeah. Going to take a moment to stare into her eyes and then maybe some other time.
She looks at you not disappointedly, but almost hopingly. Before going, I understand. Maybe some other time. She kind of just gives you a wink and then dives back into the water.
Okay, I'm going to stand and look at her sister then.
Okay.
How much? What kinds of knowledge are available to you?
A lot of different kinds. Depends on what sort of things you may be looking for. I keep the whispers from whatever the showmen have seen and heard. I am the collector of their knowledge and one of the sisters in the sanctum of this place. You just had the pleasant or unpleasant encounter of meeting with my sister, my eldest sister, Bergdis. She is the oracle. She has the ability to see the future and often gives such visions to individuals who wish it. But she has other attentions. My sister, Cameron, she is the one who can speak with the dead. The one of past. The one who can see what sort of things you might find interesting. And I am the youngest, Raymunda. I keep the knowledge of this sanctum and focus more on the present and the preservation of both. The future and the past.
They're dead.
Yes. Cameron can speak to the dead. The reachable ones, I will add. But do not take her gifts lightly, thinking it will all be merry. Not every soul is welcome to be opened back up to the world in its raw state.
Does this damage the soul?
Not
Potentially?
always. There are times, but it is on a rare occasion. My sister Cameron will be able to tell you more, but I do not care too much for the antics of the dead. They are not always pleasant.
I'm interested in that.
I am too. I want to ask her, but I want to do it in private. Can I ask you something, but privately?
You may ask us these things in private. Do note that privacy is an additional offering for our gifts, And Cameron's is a heavy toll.
How heavy?
Depends on who you're asking, how long they've been gone, and what kind of questions. She will need to know the conditions of their death. And if you do not know, the toll will be heavier, in compensation for the weight of their soul.
Well, so if I could ask you something in private, you might know or have an understand, because I don't.
She otherwise looks across the water. Then pay your toll.
Okay.
What is this worth to you?
Yeah, you know what? This is worth a lot. I'm putting in 20 gold.
Wow.
Okay. As you take 20 gold, I'll say, not flicking it in one at a time. You drop it into the water, and you note that as it falls, it rests on the very edge, before, ever so faintly, the coins lift and float towards the hoard.
Hey. Right. Look back to her. I,
Before you ask, does anybody else wish to ask any other questions before I ask you all to leave to the standby room?
Besides for asking the other sister something,
If you wish to go and speak to Cameron, you can.
that's the one with the dead, right?
Yep.
Yes. That's the one I
Uh,
wish to speak with.
All I need to ask is, what's the water nymph's name?
Which one? The one in front of you?
No, well, not in front of me, but
In
the one who
front
was
of
in the water who was giving Vinny the eye.
Oh, Bergdis. Bergdis.
E-R-G...
D-I-S.
So G-I-S.
D-I-S.
V-I-S. Gotcha. Okay,
And she is the oldest of the sisters.
cool. Okay, I'll note those down. And I'll
And-
just go to standby because I'm not even there.
And Raymonda is the other one?
Raymunda, yeah. R-A-I-M-U-N-D-A. Yeah. New Jamie's head to standby. Okay.
I was also just wanted to ask before this whole thing. I just wanted to ask if the one that can speak to the dead can translate their words.
I believe so.
Thank you. Alright.
Okay.
Moving over now.
Vinny? Is there anything you wanted to do, or are you moving over?
I may well have questions for Cameron someday, but for now, I have a question. I have a question for you.
Very well. I will speak to you in but a moment.
Very good.
You watch as she casts her hand. I'll say you can tell the others this. She casts her hand in front of her, and you watch as this black sphere wraps around her and Cat.
Okay.
You can still see silhouettes of the both of them, by the way.
Okay. Right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
What the hell to stand by?
Cat. As you stand there in front of Raymunda, as this is mentioned, she casts her hand out, and you watch as this black sphere wraps around you. A starry sky appearing in every direction from where you stand, and you can feel your hooves become lightly wet, as you are lightly submerged in a very thin layer of water within this sphere. You wish to ask me a question?
I do, and I do feel that I need to clear some things up. No one else can hear us, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And anything
I
you
feel-
say will be kept to me, unless specifically requested by your soul.
My real name is Ellie Fleethoof.
The staff does not light up.
about a month and a half ago, nearly 2 months ago, there was something in a ruins. There was this chain, pointed inside chain here, that was wrapped around a six or four wing, I can't remember, 6-wing figure, and it was holding something back, an ooze. When I removed the chain, this ooze broke free, killed everyone where I lived. Last I remember was my mum and dad casting something, this thing coming towards us, and when I awoke, the entire place was desolated. It was just a crater. And half of my body has been replaced with this black thing. I'm gonna show her my arm. I don't know what this is, what it wants from me, what's happened. I don't know what I'm meant to do. I just need some guidance or some answers in regards to what is this? Am I even me anymore? Am I this monster?
Take my hand, child.
I will take her hand.
Okay. You take her hand and you feel her begin to lead you in a direction. Do you follow?
I do.
You take steps and you feel your hooves lift up out of the water and step on it as you wander. Good minute, maybe 2 goes by as she wanders, holding your hand the entire time, your arm still unbandaged there. You can see it warbling in your arm as you watch as across the surface of it there's the occasional pulse of almost this dark purple and red energy that forms this almost instinctive vein before dissipating. You watch as Sicenia wraps around it taut and tight, holding it in place as your arm is exposed in this place. You wander up and you feel dry land appear, and you watch as she lifts her hand forward through the black sphere, and it dissipates. You are standing on the island at the center of the lake. You see Bergdis otherwise looking down and go, "You brought the little one over. That means that you want me to tell her something." "That is indeed the case, Bergdis. This one is troubled. She carries a burden, and she has paid for it." You watch as Bergdis rolls her eyes before lowering herself down off of the large crystal in the center to where you are, and strides up to you and pulls out what looks to be this wreath made from almost this thin vine, coral, and olive leaves. As she places it on your head. Who was that who left tabletop?
Sudz.
Okay. As she places it on your head, you feel this sudden rush as you watch as Bergdis's eyes kind of flutter for a moment, the eyelids blinking rapidly, as she puts her hand forward slowly, and you watch as your uncovered arm shoots up. I would like you to make me a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage, please.
Oh. Okay. That's a +3. Oh, hang on. I need both dice.
Yep.
That is a 7.
Your arm meets with hers, and as it does, you feel it grab hold and squeeze. There is a moment in this shriek of pain as you watch as Bergdis pulls her hand back, riddled in blood, as you hear the crunching of bones as it does so. It falls limp at her side as both of them look at you. Bergdis goes and snarls as claws appear from her other hand, before you watch as Raymunda puts her hand out. "What did you see?" "This child. This child is meddling in things she does not know." She takes a swing and you watch as a shard of crystal is shattered from the centerpiece. in almost a burst of anger from Bergdis. She does not understand! She does not understand. Raymunda, there's nothing I can do. Her path is already chosen for her. She has some leeway, but there's nothing I can do. You know what this means. As Raymunda nods and looks at you, what expression does she see?
Oh, fear, heartbreak because she's just hurt someone, disgust at herself, just a mess of emotions at the moment. None of them good.
There is nothing we can foresee for you, child. Do not take that as a bad thing, nor a good thing. It is simply a neutrality. And I'll tell you why. Something deep in your past, not necessarily your own, but in a past gone by. Someone has foreseen events and foretold them. The works of the great mistress of Alarandra, the Fate Weaver. Someone has foreseen her works and has decided it to be set. We cannot tell you what your future is, for it is set in stone. We cannot give you guidance, we cannot help you. What happens, happens. Anyone who is to die in your presence will live or be saved by you. Every spell that you learn, every rune that you craft. Everything has a meaning and a purpose. And I'm sorry it has to be placed on a child such as yourself.
Okay, I understand. Just need to wait and see what the path has chosen for me then.
I will give you one word of advice. Do not seek Cameron. If the souls of your mother and father were truly destroyed by whatever this thing may be, however ancient this may be, discover them on your own, not with our gifts. You try to force a prophecy to happen, and it will shatter you.
No, there is a chance that their souls have been damaged.
There is also the possibility that they are alive and well. There are a lot of mysteries that cannot be answered, memories foretold and obscured. Things within your history which we cannot see and we cannot understand. Things that change. You will be all right. But what happens, happens. Understand that.
Oh, thank you for all of the help. Is she gonna be okay? That's quite a horrible wound. I can heal it.
Do not worry yourself. Bergdis, go see Cameron. Make sure that you are healed up. This was not her fault, this was not yours. Understand? Bergdis slowly nods.
Well, Thank you for your time, and can I go back now, please?
You may. And she walks you back across the lake. Could you go and get the others, please?
Yeah. So we have yes. Hang on.
Welcome back, everyone.
Hello.
From your perspectives, you all watch as this mention of privacy is noted. You watch as Raymunda otherwise stretches out her hand and casts a black sphere around her and Cat. Romulus initially panics but accepts it for the moment. As you watch as this begins to take place and something's going on, you can see the silhouettes in the interior as the two of them talk. Before you watch as one of the silhouettes stretches out her hand as the two of them begin to walk across the water and the lake. The black sphere follows them. An essence of darkness and silence, unable to hear the interior, unable to see it truly. Romulus begins to panic and calls out, but there is no answer. Romulus in this instance maintains respect and trust. As you watch, they cross across the lake and you see their vague silhouettes against the crystal in the distance. You see forms moving across on the other side before you hear a scream. Kay and Vinny, I would like the two of you, because you have dark vision, to make me perception checks. As Romulus and Lloyd are going to make them with disadvantage. Core! Poor Romulus on fire.
That's a 9 for me.
Okay. Romulus got he got a dirty 20 with disadvantage, my man.
Wow. Call it parental instincts.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm definitely going to call it that. And Kay, did you, or you in tabletop? Jamie told me you disconnected partway through. Sudz?
Sorry. I just got back.
That's fine. Roll me a perception check. You heard a
Yeah,
scream.
sure.
You heard a scream from across the lake.
Sure. Alright. Dam's under stress. Knight K is on the way. K is a true knight.
Total?
That is. Okay, give me a sec.
Yep, no
Things
worries.
happened and now everything has to reload.
Yep, that's fine. Perception, yeah.
That's a 19.
19. You and Romulus. Romulus finds it difficult, but he strains his eyes, and there is a moment where he panics, hearing the scream from across the lake, initially thinking that it's cats, before he watches as one of the nymphs recoils. There's a shattering sound that echoes throughout the cave, before you watch as Raymunda and Cat are returned to the shore. As Raymunda leads Cat, you can see Cat is shaken. I would actually say this. Cat, what is the expression that they see on her face?
Floods of tears. As soon as Raymunda lets go, Cat is making a bolt for getting out of the cave.
Romulus will go with, and I'll say that he very much has a moment of like shouting at Raymunda with what's going on before Raymunda says, "I only helped her in what I could. Take care of her." Before Romulus follows suit. Vinny? If you are discouraged on what you may hear or see, then I understand. This is not a place of happiness necessarily.
I still need to know.
Very
You
well.
need an offering?
How much does it mean to you?
I will pull out 15 gold.
Okay. You toss it into the water.
Mm-hmm.
What is it you wish to ask?
I'm looking for two friends of mine. Cassius Zarfol and Carvern Fardrangir. I need to know if anyone has seen them.
She nods, and you watch as she begins to recall memories. One of these names I have seen and heard. The other I have not. You wish to know their whereabouts?
Yes. As much information as you can give me.
Your dragonborn friend was last seen in Zaka's Crossing, seeking refuge with one known as Red Riot. You will find him in the Den of Furs. As for Cassius, no one has heard of him since your last operation.
I see.
I will say that your friend who you are seeking, she is currently hunting Cassius. To what degree I do not know.
Okay.
Now, Kay,
Clearly there's a lot I've missed.
there is...
No, no, I was just saying, clearly there's a lot I have missed. And I will nod and step back.
You will find it eventually, I am sure, Vinny. It is who you are, is it not?
It is. I usually get what I want in the end.
Don't try too hard. But that doesn't mean to say don't try. Push too hard and you'll break. Push too little and you might not succeed. She gives you a curt nod and faces you, Kay. You wish to speak to Cameron?
Before that, I had a thought. I don't. I was just curious. Are you able to use our memories for knowing something?
Only to a certain extent. I can copy them, but they will deteriorate for you.
I'm just trying to figure out what someone said to me. I don't speak their language, so it's hard to tell, and I don't know if they're dead. If they are dead, I want to know the last words before they died. Since I
Understood.
wouldn't be here without them.
Understood. I will take you to Cameron. Are you alright if your friend attends?
Yes.
Okay. You head further around the path. You note that no more travellers have come in since you all came in. As you travel round and travel past, you look around the rest of the area. There are no more travellers. No one's stopped. No one's following. No one's passed by since this all started. You eventually reach what looks to be this almost larger crystal platform, upon which you see, standing with arms outstretched, is an otherwise vibrant blue-skinned, again, female fey elven form. She wears a thick veil and cloak of shimmering blue robe that otherwise covers her entire form, other than her neck. You see no visible hair. You cannot confirm the colour of what it is, but the veil does not obscure two eyes as they peer back at you. Heterochromic eyes. One gold, one silver. She stares at you. And as she does, you watch as her outstretched arms come into a close in front of her, over what looks to be an orb that was floating in between. This one wishes to learn of the dead, sister? That is correct. This one wishes to learn of the last words of someone who saved them. Is there a name to go with this character?
Well, considering where we were from, I only know them as M16.
You watch as there's a pause. I will try. Please make your offering. And gestures to the pool ahead.
How much do I got? I will do the same as Cat and put 20 since this is fairly important. Okay.
Okay. You toss 20 gold in, and you watch as from the water a form begins to rise up, as a kind of congealed blue form moves up from the water, pulling the water with it, the light rumbling of magic as it does so. And you begin to feel this very visceral reaction. I need to quickly check what this does to you.
Not much floor left to vacuum with this cup.
Guessing it's not one of the base ones?
No. You feel your breath suddenly go cold and your entire body begins to shiver. As you feel this presence pulled forth, you watch as the water rises and begins to make a form before it collapses in on itself. Your friend is not dead.
Like this right underneath it. Out of the way.
Your friend is very much alive. I cannot help you in this,
It's actually more wrong.
but maybe my sisters can.
Right now.
Oh, sorry, that was the wrong voice, but oh well. Maybe my sisters can. Raymunda? I can try and do some memory magic on you. It will hurt given your sensitivity, and I cannot guarantee if it will succeed.
I'm determined to know.
I will ask for confirmation from you for this, Vinny, as a friend of his. If he is reset entirely, unable to speak, read, write, and act, will you care for him should this go wrong?
I will. I believe in Kay's resilience and his ability to hold on, but if the worst happens, I'll take responsibility for him.
Understood. Hold out your palm, please.
I hold out my palm.
She places her hand on your wrist. And in this immediate moment, you feel your pulse shock is going through you. And you feel this sudden pain burst through your arm as you begin to feel it worsen and worsen, seeping into your hands, up your arm to your elbow to your shoulder, and begin to otherwise course in almost cracks across your chest. I would like you to make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Uh, 13.
13. You feel the pain of this. Given the level of the spell, I am going to quickly roll. Uh, 54. What is your health point maximum?
38.
You fall unconscious. Your hit points remain the same. But Kay falls unconscious as the memory flashes through your brain, is copied and extinguished. She is now the only holder of this memory. You cannot recall it, no matter how hard you try.
But do I remember the fact that I wanted to know about it?
Yes, you remember the desire to know about it, you just don't remember the memory. And in this instance, I'll say, Vinny, you watch as this happens. You watch as one of Kay's gloves just falls off as his body slumps and peels away. And as you can see, his hand is bleeding. There's no breaks in his skin, there's no cuts. It's bleeding naturally. As you note, his entire hand has gone black with rot.
Okay, I'm going to be checking him for other injuries.
Okay. You roll up his sleeves, and you can see the rest of his arm is the same. Cameron, if you please. She takes a step down, and you watch as she places her hand over his chest. You watch as there's this moment where you're almost scared for Kay. A shock of, is he dead? Before you watch as he breathes again, a heavy breath out of shallow. The damage to the arm doesn't go away. As this occurs, Kay, you wake. The memory there. Fresh in your mind and then plucked. A fleeting dream as it scatters to the wind. You wish to know his final words?
Yes.
Remember me.
Oh, I can't do that no more.
No. In a cruel irony, you are no longer able to recall the form of him.
Well, that happened. I can't help but.
Notably, at this moment, you look down at your arm after waking. You've lost no hit points. Your arm is in immense pain. You can move it. It is, however, in immense pain, and you don't know how long this will last.
Ow.
Cameron otherwise looks up. There is nothing more I can do for him. His form is far too sensitive to be affected. I understand. Get some rest. Head back into camp and rest up in the starlight.
Thank you.
It may take some time until it is eased.
Ow. Okay, gets up.
Okay,
Ow.
I'll support him as best I can.
Cameron goes over and takes your shoulder, Vinny. Otherwise, her head passes close to yours.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear her whispering in your ear. With a 30 on her stealth check, you hear the following said into your ear as Kay, you are too distracted to hear her say this.
Last thing you want to do is serve up pitch that a guy hits over the. It's multi-run well. Get it 1-1. Do that fastball high, slightly elevated. See confidence boost guy out there on the top. See if he continues to climb the ladder.
She pulls her head back and looks at you, staring through the veil.
There's 2 away.
Okay. With one hand, I'm going to be helping Kay to his feet and supporting him in slowly walking.
Okay.
With the other, I will pull out a single gold coin.
Okay.
And
You-
offer it out.
You toss it into the water. The form nods. And you feel 2 names enter your mind. Numbers
Mm-hmm.
and Marla.
This one popped up. West has a beat on it.
Wait a second.
They watch you.
So it's on to the bottom of inning number 1. No score. Go to the bottom of the first.
And she turns and heads back to her platform. Raymunda guides you back around to the rest of it, and as you arrive at the entrance, there is no one waiting, no one travelling in, no one leaving. You pull your hoods back down and go back out into the camp where, Damian, you return to the site of the following. Cat is currently being cradled by Romulus as she is bawling tears. And you see Kay limping out with the support of Vinny as his arm is destroyed.
Dare I ask what on earth has happened to all of you?
We paid for this.
It's
Well, I
a
mean,
long
I
story.
guess at least you haven't been eaten. So looks at Kay's arm just sort of questioningly. Has it actually been munched?
No. I'll say make me a medicine check.
A medicine check. Okay.
I'll say, Kay, you can as well. Now you've got a proper lighting, you can do that as well.
Dr. K working on himself.
Oh, that was so close.
That was close.
But-
Oh!
Well,
Yes, Dr.
no
K!
way.
Nice. I got a 12.
Okay,
That
12.
is a total of, let's see, medicine. That is 29.
Nice.
If you were gonna get a crit on something,
It was
figured
this.
it
Dr.
was gonna
K.
be this.
Yeah. So, Damian, you look at this, and you're like, he's bleeding. But there's no serious abrasions. It's not broken, there's not scratches, there's no nothing. His arm is just bleeding, which suggests rot, which suggests disease. And you think, I could potentially do something about it. And then when you see the rest of the arm, you're like, there's nothing I can do about this, not with my magic.
Yeah.
K, with a natural 20 for a total of 29, you recall back the feeling of this. How it spread, how it started as a light pain and worsened quickly. You are suffering extreme bruising in the area where the magic took place.
Okay, so it's
Bruising is what the
bruising.
magic causes. And I'll say, with that natural 20, you understand, while this is in effect, you cannot gain temporary hit points.
Huh. I see.
Anything that would give them to you fails to do so. Until this effect wears off, and you have no idea how long that'll be.
Let's see what's. Yeah, I really did, dude. 111 miles per hour. What a nice walk.
Well, I guess I'm never going in there then.
For what
No,
it's
but
worth,
they tell you so much stuff.
Oh yeah, Lloyd was in there the entire time. He just disappeared at one point and is just apparated outside. No one knows what he knows. If he watches some of this back, he might know stuff. I might actually add a player warning at the beginning of this one to leave, and just to pay attention to leave if you end up watching it as a player. Actually, I'll just tell Lloyd and Romulus that if you're watching it back, not to watch the bits which are secret.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, I just want you to know I did
Mhm.
mute. I did mute stream when
Yeah, that's fine.
you were doing that.
Yeah, that's fine. So, you exit. What do you do? You note at this time as you look around, it's beginning to get dark. Time has passed while you were in there.
Hey, do you need to rest?
Yes. Ow.
Right.
I don't like that magic. Ow.
Damian's just looking again like, right, I understand a little bit.
You watch as a form begins to stride towards you guys. I'll say, as you just generally notice, as a royal red tiefling of liege approaches. He is wearing what looks to be his usual outfit, but you note that he's wearing almost like a dressing gown over the top as he's just wandering down. He's like, finally I've found you all. Looks like you've had some fun with the sisters. Not too much fun, I hope. Give you a rough time.
Damian looked point blank at Liege without even thinking through as usual and said, probably not as much fun as you've had.
Oh, you have no idea. But I digress. Thank you very much for delivering that letter for me, Kay. From now on, you are all officially considered allies of showmen. If you wish to ever return here, you know we will show you the entrance in and out. And if you're ever looking to become one of us, I'm sure I can arrange a tattoo or two in place to discern you from the rest of the crowd.
I don't think tattoos work for me.
No, I don't think they do, but I'm sure we can find a way. You can dye your hair, how about that? That could work. Although by the looks of it, your arm's looking pretty rough as it is. Doesn't need to be dyed at all there. Same can be said.
Well, speaking of which, Kay is in no real state to be setting off at the moment.
That is fair.
Is it possible we can stay here overnight?
Oh, by all means. Please just make your way over towards the wonderful showman's Starlight. When you're inside, you'll be able to speak to our good friend Peachy. He'll happily set you up with some food and some drinks and a few beds for the night if you wish.
Ooh, food.
That'll be
That sounds
good.
good. I'm a bit hungry. Damian's got no idea.
I'm sure you'll love it. It's road food, street food if you will, served all over, especially here.
Sounds
That'll
interesting.
be good. Well, Vinny, can we go? I need rest. It hurts a lot.
Yeah, let's go and do that. I'll take care of Kay if any of the rest of you have any final business.
I think rest is a good idea.
Well, I welcome you all to the Starsight Camp, and I do hope you've enjoyed your stay. He otherwise nods, looks around you all, and gestures towards the Starlight. You make your way over to the rooms that are divided by fabric and curtains. As you head over, Peachy otherwise gets you some food. You all enjoy the insects to a certain degree. To those of you reluctant to try them, they are crunchy and they are delicious mostly. I cannot say though. I have not tried them and I do not know what they taste like, so I
Tastes
cannot
like
say.
chicken.
Probably.
Hmm.
It's interesting food nonetheless. But you otherwise...
While we're sat down, I'm going to ask if they've got any live insects. Just one. Just need one.
I'm sure I can get you something, I'm sure. Any particular reason? I wouldn't... Do centaurs eat live crickets or cockroaches?
No, I just need one for a spell component.
It needs to be alive?
Yes.
Oof. Poor thing. Alright, any particular one, or is it just one in general?
It doesn't matter, small is good. Woodlouse, something small.
You watch as he otherwise goes over to one particular box where there's like a cage, and you watch as he flips the lid up and he kind of gingerly sticks his hand in, grabs one. It'll fly away if I give it to you and you let go, or do you have something to contain it
I'm
in?
gonna put it in a test tube.
Okay. And he takes a dragonfly and jams it in the end of the test tube.
Taking on the biggest one. Okay. Right. Alright. After
Right.
8 and I'm going up into the room.
There is no up.
Oh, I'm going into Sanctum.
I call insect cruelty. Being jammed into a test tube.
Meanwhile, half of your rats are drowning, and the other half are all busy stealing insects from that box.
Look, what they do in their own time is none of my concern.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I don't have to worry about it.
You otherwise all head to your rooms. I'll say your rooms are paid for by... I'll say for this one time, Liege will pay for your rooms and pay for your food, so you have nothing to worry about. As you have brought him a letter, you went out of your way, and you are now allies, so in this instance he'll give you one night of free food, drink, and rooms to enjoy. You each have your own separate rooms if you wish to use that to the best of your information. As you each enter your rooms, you do note, and I'll say, Kay, this does make you lightly uncomfortable, to the point that you get repositioned to another room. These rooms are enchanted to obscure and muffle noise going in and out.
Yeah, I'm getting a room that doesn't do that.
Yeah, you are given a regular tent. Usually it will cost a copper for a regular ass tent to use one. But in this instance, you're given a tent because it's much more comfortable for you. Does anybody wish to bunk up? I'll say Romulus will be taking care of you, Cat, but if you want, he can have a neighbouring room, which is conjoining.
He'll probably end up bunking up, but I'm gonna wait until he goes to sleep.
Okay.
Damian's gonna take an individual room because otherwise he'd probably be asking Lloyd lots and lots of questions about what the hell happened, and he's not here, so.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Also, Lloyd went
I'll-
with you actually, and to discover
Yeah, that works.
the archway. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Damian would take the night.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
So.
Vinny, you bunking with Kay or are you
I'll
bunking?
probably bunk with Kay if he's alright with that, because I want to keep an eye on him.
Ow. Help.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and you bunk with Kay. So, you've all bunked up appropriately. Is there any last thing you wish to do before night claims you all and you take your long rest?
As Romulus goes to sleep, I'm gonna get back up.
Okay. You wake up during the middle of the night, the busy snoring away, the muffled sound of it being very lightly heard outside the tent.
That was way too much to process. But this, I'm gonna reach into my bag and get the vial out with the black ooze
Okay.
in it. This is a problem. How is this still alive? I'm gonna get the vial with the dragonfly, and I'm going to pour the slime onto the dragonfly and
Okay.
cook it.
Okay. The small piece of slime falls into the other test tube. As it does and you put the cork back on, the dragonfly panics for a moment, trying to flutter its wings as best it can, trying to push around and move around, but is unable to in the confined space. You watch as the small piece of slime doesn't react. It doesn't do anything, it simply falls and rests at the bottom of the test tube.
So maybe it's got to be a specific size.
I don't get what
I'll
the
leave
fuck
this in
that
here for a
was.
couple of days, double check, but
Like, why did second base go but not third? Like, that was
Things.
dumb.
I wish it would just die. Look at myself sometimes.
In the air, left side.
As I said, could you mute up just for a moment? Just because it's getting hard to hear, Jamie. Sorry.
Just, I want it to all end. Cause too much hurt. And I'm going to hide the vial back in the box where the syringes once were, and then put that back into my bag.
Okay.
Go back to bed.
As you get to rest, each of you, you feel a sense of mystery unveiled, a strange sense of fear wash over most of you, a sense of strangeness and not as hopeful as you would imagine, information not as necessary. And equally, as many of you do not notice various bits and pieces that go on around the camp, and seeing what's going on in your friends' lives, you can't help but wonder what has happened today. What this encounter has brought to the table, and how much do you feel you're all willing to invest with one another? The thoughts cross your mind as you are all still in your clique groups. Left of a party and more of your band of friends. But you feel that despite suffering different pains, not knowing as much, strangely you all feel closer. And so, with our party getting to know one another in a bit more of an intriguing environment, shall we say, and some of the story uncovering just for us. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. And when we come back, all of these schmucks will be level 4. So, we'll be rolling dice. Actually, no, you know what? Those who are here, let's roll dice. Let's go.
Oh,
Woo!
All right.
got Morgan to roll.
Vinny, you're taking a level in.
Rapid rogue.
All right,
Puts me
go
through
ahead.
level 3 in rogue. So
Yeah.
subclass time.
Subclass,
baby.
and because of universal ability score improvements, which is a thing of my own creation. If you want it, message me and I'll send you the PDF. I'll go and check my Patreon once it's redone. Go ahead and roll your D8 for your rogue level. So you'll be getting a subclass and you'll be getting an ability score improvement here.
Hmm.
This does mean that you'll be getting a dead level at some point, though.
It does happen, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but it means you get a
It's-
big spike now.
it's another 7 hit points.
Nice. Kay, you will be taking a level in.
Collector.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a D8, please, for Collector. And you'll be getting a first level in Collector plus your ability score improvement here. So we'll be discussing your spell casting at some point. This will be interesting.
Ooh.
Rerolling natural ones. 5. All it took was a level in Collector for you to not roll max.
I know, right?
It's never going to happen again because the rest of your levels are going to be an Abomination.
Exactly.
Oof. Okay. Damian, what are you taking a level in?
Paladin?
Okay, go ahead and roll me a D10 then, please.
D10. That's the green one, yeah?
Yep.
And I've forgotten what this is actually to add to.
Your health. So you just do the formula and then do plus 9. Ooh, tanky still. That's gonna be you're gonna be a
And
tough
I'm
nut to
going
crack.
up to level 4.
Yep, change your level to level 4. We'll discuss ability score improvements in between this. I believe I remember what yours was, or what yours was, Damian.
We'll have to relook again.
I
But yeah.
believe yours was going to be Shieldmaster, but we'll go through that. And
I
Kay
think
was going to
so,
be going
yeah.
for a specialization.
Yes.
Kat, what are you taking a level in?
Got twin wizard, so I'm going for my second in sorcerer.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a d6 then, please. Rerolling natural ones.
Oh.
Roll the d4. 2! A whole 3 hit points to work with. Ah,
Wow.
from 16 to 19. Let's go.
Well done, Cat. Well done.
Bad time.
Oh, man. Okay, Damian, how many hit points do you actually have? If you do the click on max form, double click, do plus 9, and then make sure your level's at 4.
Oh, I think I've done that.
Okay, what's your hit point max?
It's just under treble. It's 51.
Oh, man. Okay, and I'll get to Infernal or Lloyd and Romulus at the beginning of next session, I think. So, for the stream, thank you for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed sessions 1 through 20 if you've been kept up this long. If you haven't, then that is perfectly fine. If you're watching this for the first time, do not worry, because I will be releasing at some point soon a storyteller's version of what took place from from sessions 1 through 20. Do check that out. That will be on my YouTube channel, and you can otherwise find that associated with my Twitch account. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi.